Right, I am Mark, your kind and generous dungeon master, and if you are sitting comfortably, we will begin. Our heroes have made new friends in the city-state of Uric. After having worked their way into the heart of Destiny's kingdom, Hamanu's palace, they there struck a deal with Hamanu himself, the Lion of the North, to head out into the Sea of Silt and find the lost fortress of Akarakle, and which was once supposed to be a fortress of the Wind Mages, those who created the Cyanotrix, the artifact which is responsible for the psionic interference field currently besetting all of the tablelands. Because Hamanu is a kind and generous sorcerer king, he has agreed to send some of his finest individuals along with our heroes, just to keep an eye on them. There's nothing weird going on, including a couple of Templars, half giants, Kreen, halfling. Actually, kind of like a evil mirror universe version of the party. Most notable of these, of course, would be Vemet the Foul, our defiler friend who slightly murdered Portek a while ago and turned him into a banshee. He got better, but that's the way it goes. After a night of recuperation following your successful, victorious bout in the Death Ball match, yes, indeed, you have had a couple of hours in the morning to prepare for the journey into the east. Hamanu has laid on a veritable caravan to support your sojourn. Yes, I know. To death to all balls. Yes, I couldn't agree more. He sends with you a quartet of Enixes, riding Crodlu, some pack kanks. You can consider yourselves refreshed, enough water for at least the first third of the journey. There are a number of merchant forts along the way to allow for resupply.
You get a purse for traveling expenses?
Do you get a purse for traveling expenses? Yeah, is it not attached to your belt?
No, from Hamanu.
No.
Just to be clear, we're heading on the Road of Kings to Ram. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So let's. It's up on Roll20 now. So you are over here, Uric, right? Yep. Your destination is actually the other side of the map. A small oasis called Bitter Well. And it is here that you are to find some form of transport out into the Sea of Silt. You see Lake Island here?
Yes.
This is the beginning of something called the Road of Fire, which is a chain of volcanic islands that stretches out eastward off the map. And the fortress of Akarakle is said to lie somewhere along the Road of Fire. Hamanu, if you may remember, said that he did visit the place once a long time ago, and then came up with a preposterous story about the Sea of Silt being filled with water, so he can't quite remember exactly where it was, including nonsense. The Road of Kings indeed will be your main thoroughfare for the journey. Along the road, there are 3 other city-states to avoid. Yaramuk, known as a haunted ruin. Watch out for the undead. Ram, here where the Grand Vizier Abelachre holds sway. The city is known for teetering on the brink of chaos. And of course, then way out east, there is Draj, the easternmost of the city-states under the auspices of King Tektuktitle and his moon priests. Don't get sacrificed on his temple. Won't end well.
Who's telling
your companions? A passing
I'm assuming our new traveling companions. Vemet the Foul. He's telling us this.
Yeah, Vemet the Foul. I'll do my Vemet voice if it's going to be him. Let's. Speaking of which, let's have a look at our friends again here.
Oh, I really like Tina Turner.
Aramau the Quick. He named himself.
He stole
Thovodarak Luba. You can tell he's the leader because of his hat. Ulreg the Strong. She's the big buff half giant off to the left. Chitekchre, a queen, obviously. Dokala, the halfling with the big do down in front. Aramau the Quick, the elf with the even bigger do up behind. Tiriana, a human female Templar. She's the one with all the Christmas ornaments on her clothes. And of course, over on the right, Vemet the Foul, our bespectacled friend who's perpetually having a bad hair day.
Who's been photoshopped, didn't he?
Yeah, he's been photoshopped, yes.
He's been photoshopped in.
Yeah.
I wasn't originally a part of the group.
No. How do you know that?
It's
because it's been photoshopped.
Because it's been photoshopped.
Someone's been reading an adventure, right? We shall have to punish that later. Okay. Yes.
Oh no, we can tell. We're artists. We use Photoshop all the time.
I did a quite good job. I'm going to fucking punish a lot of you for that. Right.
Metagamer!
Thovodarik.
Why? I didn't notice shit.
Yeah, well, you should keep better company then. Thovodarik mentions that indeed it would be wise to avoid both the city-states of Ram and of Draj. Ram is in perpetual state of near civil unrest, and Draj itself is, if at all possible, even more militant than Uric. The journey itself should take you a couple of weeks. You are looking at a lengthy trek at Inic speed along the Road of Kings, stopping where possible at merchant forts and perhaps the outermost perimeters of Ram and Draj to resupply. Is there anything that you guys wish to address here in Uric before you depart?
Are we able to chat with our new companions?
Yes, that's what I'm here for.
Okay, great. Ra's gonna be very friendly. She'll pay them a visit, and she'll actually bring them probably gifts of either food or some nice drinks or something like that. And we'll just kind of knock on the door. She would have invited any of the party to come with her as a little get to know if they wanted to come with.
This is before you actually set off, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Then I'll go with
All
you
right.
if you're inviting, but I'll have an arrow kind of along my arm under my cloak, just in case.
All right. Well, you find them in the guest wing, just a little bit further down the hallway from where you guys have been stationed. They're busy laying out their packs and supplies, checking their weapons. Vemet is seated on a balcony outside, apparently going over some knotted pieces of string that he has laid out on a table in front of him. As you enter, Thovodarik Lubar turns his head in your direction.
Hello.
Right, is it?
Yes, that's me. I
What can we do for you?
I just wanted to say that I'm really excited that you're going to be joining us. So I got you some gifts of some nice food and drinks from the area. Have you seen the thing where the water comes out when you turn the thing?
He looks around the room at some of the others. Constantine, you can see. Yes, we have.
It's great.
The halfling comes scuttling forward, and even before anything else has been said, she's taking double handfuls of food off the tray in your hand. Stuffs one handful into her mouth. She says, and scuttles off, jumps up onto one of the beds, sits down with her back to the others, and digs into the food.
I just thought I'd say hi before we go off. As I know that we're going to be spending some time together, I just wanted to say hi, and if you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask us.
Ulreg, you can feel the thudding of her feet through the floor as she strides toward you, the other half giant. She stops a few feet in front of Ra. Gladiator. Right? Where is your pet?
My pet? I have
Your
a...
halfling.
Oh, Bengal's not my pet. He's my partner.
Why?
Oh, because when we were put together, we got along really well, and we're a great team in the ring. So we started hanging out outside of gladiatorial matches, and we kind of built a friendship, and we became real good friends. So they're my partner in combat. I'm hoping we can become friends like that too.
Why?
Because that would be nice. I'd like to spar with you sometime. I've heard you're a half giant like me, and she kind of like gathers everything into like one hand and then kind of like reaches out for potentially her shoulder.
Okay.
Like
Uric.
not like a push, like just a tap,
No,
like
no,
kind
no.
of thing.
Uric looks at your hand. She looks back at Ra. Strange.
She'll retract.
I thought you would be enemy.
Oh, I don't want to be enemies. I really want to be friends.
Told you, Tiriana says, the female Templar. They they've been told to cooperate with us, and we should cooperate with them. They're not our enemies. We
Oh,
have a long road ahead of us.
I just want to say I haven't been told to do this. I genuinely wanted to. I've not been here too long, but I gathered some things that I enjoyed the taste of, and then the drink, and they're really good. And I thought that it would be a nice gift. I just wanted to. I hate going on adventures and there being kind of this separate thing and not really talking with one another and actually getting along. I just wanted to. It's always nice to make friends.
You can hear the smile in Ulrich's voice. You talk enough for two, she says, and takes the tray out of your hands. Constantine, you see her look around the room at the rest of her companions, some of whom are continuing with their preparations, others looking at her. She points to the food. Mine. And heads over slowly, sits herself down and starts eating. You notice the
You're
elf
ready
has
to
been
go?
staring at you, Constantine. What
I'll-
are you doing here?
I like to watch my friends back.
A little human protecting a half giant. Go on, little human. I think your friend is done here.
When she departs, I will.
He's
You
very
don't tell me
strong.
to do.
He actually trained me a lot of my skills in combat. Maybe he could teach you guys some stuff too, or you could teach us some things. I'm sure you guys are great.
Aramau laughs again. He looks weak.
Oh,
Small and weak.
Just for my reminder, which one is that?
Tina Turner. The elf.
Well, maybe when the opportunity presents itself, I can show you my strength.
If you wish. I'm sure you have so much to prove.
No, I have nothing to prove, but apparently you have so much to learn. When you're done, Ra, we can go back to the group.
kind of feeling the tension in the room, Ra just kind of goes, well, if you guys want to chat or anything, feel free to come say hi, and don't be a stranger on the road either. I'll see you all soon. And she kind of waves and then turns to leave.
Okay. You're following Tim?
Yeah, I'll follow behind.
Okay. The elf mutters something in Elven. There's a little bit of laughter from one or two of the people in the room. Tim, do you speak Elven, by the way? I don't recall.
I don't believe I do.
Okay, so yeah, just a bit of chatter and some chuckling, and the two of you are headed back to your companions.
Probably for the best.
Yes, probably for the best. The next morning sees your groups gathered together at the great gates of Uric. The sun is barely over the horizon. Shreds, hints of a pre-dawn mist are bleeding away as its crimson light spills across the land. 4 Enixes, as I said, 2 of them available for the half giants, unless Tin, you are shape changing into an Enix.
No, I won't be doing that this time.
Okay. In the other 2, the Templar rides in one, the halfling in another. The last one is available for any of you to ride in if you wish. The rest of your course will be on Quadlu. Matthias. Okay, cool. And with that, your journey begins. Out from Uric and into the east. The first few miles are perhaps the hardest, at least mentally and socially. Getting to grips with the rhythm of the journey, the sway of the beasts, the rising heat of the day. As the heat rises, the Urikites call a halt. The half-giant and the Kreen busy themselves erecting tents to wait out the worst part of the day and to press on in the evening.
Can I do an observation check on the group of them to see if I can get a sense of what their abilities are? The Kreen, for example, does he look like a warrior, or is he more of a psionicist, or
It's difficult for you to tell. You're fairly certain the Kreen is a warrior, as is the half-giant. The Templars are self-explanatory. The other 3 could be anything. Right. Well, I mean, Vermet the Foul, you know.
Yes.
Really comes down to the elf and the halfling, then, I suppose. You're really not sure. They're lightly armored.
Can I get a sense of what the Kreen's origins are? Like, is he like me? Is he Toxa, or is he Jural, or is he?
He's Jural.
Okay, so not like me.
There is. It wasn't a great observation roll, so I'll just say there was something unsettling about the pheromones he's giving off. Something that makes you feel uncomfortable around him.
Anything they do, like, pitching the tents and stuff like that, Ra will always hop off and help. She's very much like wanting to show that she wants to work together.
Yeah, I'll help out as well for the manual labor stuff, just to kind of also show camaraderie. And
conversation
I'll be using
is
observation as if available on the what's going on around us.
Yes.
Just-
Conversation is stilted, at least to begin with. There's an absolute definite tension in the air, but Tick Tick, Ra, your efforts to the contrary at least begin to break the ice somewhat. And when mealtime comes around, Ulreg offers to share water from her own packs. As for the surroundings, leaving Uric, you're passing through its outer fields, a ring of about 10 villages that surround the city, passing by those, and then out and onto the Road of Kings itself. It will be many, many days on this road. The first 1, 2, 3, 4 days pass without any meaningful events at all. The Urikites keep largely to themselves. There is a little bit of easing of the tension, as I say, between the half-giant. The elf Aramau cannot help but make a barbed comment here and there. Vermet notably spends almost his entire time under shade in the Inix. Tin, if you're going to act as some kind of pathfinder and guide, you will be able to speed up the rate of travel somewhat.
Yeah, Constantine would take lead, knowing that he can find a better way through.
Mm-hmm. And it's a 3-point bonus, isn't it?
Yes.
So 25%. Okay, so that will shave 4 days off the overall journey. So that's quite nice.
I stay quiet and withdrawn. I don't try not to get myself drawn into conversation with the other group.
Yeah, same for Bengal. He would be just riding on Ra's shoulders, taking kind of a lookout position, maybe helping Tin a bit, but other than that, not doing much.
But I will observe them very carefully in what they do and what I can assess their skills to be. I will exit the tent in the morning with a detect magic spell, so I can see anything that is distinctly magical on them, like defensive spells or items or things that we should be careful of. And I'll provide.
Yeah. Okay. So you can see they're all accoutered with various magical items. Thovodarik has a magic sword, a ring. As far as Ulreg is concerned, her hide armor, which looks to be made of extremely fine leather, and likewise she's got a couple of potion fruits hanging from her belt. The Queen's Githka is enchanted, and on some of his pouches there's little glimmers of magic emerging from those. Aramau the Quick, he has a ring of the rope that hangs from his belt is enchanted. The halfling has on one hip a short sword, on another a dagger, both enchanted. Vermet the Foul is brimming with various defensive spells, makes it difficult to discern any items on him. They're kind of bled out by the magical aura. And Tiriana likewise, her studded leather armor, and her blade, and a ring, and a quarrel full of bolts, crossbow bolts that hang from her back. All of them shimmer with magical energies. The group is clearly fairly well equipped. Make me an observation roll, please, Portek.
While
Oh no, one
Bengal
from Constantine already.
While Bengal is on Ra's shoulders, Ra will just keep hinting for Bengal to chat with the female halfling. She'll just keep like dropping it in conversation every now and again, like you could chat with them.
Stop trying to set me up. I'm like minding my own business, picking my teeth or whatever.
So your guess as regards the elf and the halfling, the elf is almost certainly some kind of scout, an infiltrator. You're not entirely sure. Something along those lines, a light skirmish fighter at most. As for the halfling, you can see her both carrying out martial exercises in the morning, but also deep psionic meditation. You think she probably possesses a considerable mastery of the way.
I report this back to everybody else so that they're all aware. I do this, of course, when we're in our tent together, when they're not there.
Yeah.
And I give Jade the next day also the ability to cast detect magic himself, so he can see for himself.
Okay.
Matthias, sorry. Yeah.
I'm sure they've already done that to us as well.
I'm pretty sure. It's best to know what's what, and you're all are better prepared. I have this feeling that we might end up in a scrap later on. You never know. So you better be ready for that.
A way to minimize the risk of that is to just be nice to them.
Absolutely.
I think I've already made progress with some of them, and I think it might be a good idea if we all at least try a little bit. Doesn't mean you have to let your guards down, but it just means that, I don't know, maybe we can get out of this with new friends and be unscathed.
Forced overtures would just look worse than if we had attacked them. So waiting for an opportunity to interact with them would probably be the better for some of the more aggressive. They may think we're up to something.
Sure.
Even if our motives are not.
We're now meant to work together, and they're aware of it. But there will be a moment where we will be no longer necessary, maybe, and then they will, So we should be ready for that. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. I'm going to stay well away from any conversations with them. Maybe their leader I will converse with, but certainly not that stinking defiler that murdered me
makes sense.
before.
If there's a reason, then I see a lot of opportunity. We just need that opening. You're known for being nice, running up to them and saying, "Hi, how are you? Want to be a friend?" This isn't new for you. Myself, Matthias, Bengal, walking up to them and saying, outstretching our hand and saying, "How's your day?" would probably seem a little out of place.
Yeah.
Portek walking towards him would be a red flag.
They may also not overtly do anything aggressive. They might just not help us if we are in need, or outrun us when we are running away from something.
Well, they won't outrun us, don't worry.
You know what I mean.
We just need to be on our toes and prepared for if something weird happens. They're not the only problem that we have to face. Don't forget our nightmare experience in the desert on our way to Uric.
With that as a reminder, you sleep perhaps a little less easier than normal, but no nightmares come. The next morning, it's your third day out of Uric. By Constantine's reckoning, and he's been setting an excellent pace, scouting ahead, watching for damage to the road, knowing when to leave the road, actually make use of the stony barrens that run alongside it, avoiding merchant caravans that might slow you down, and you're fairly certain that you're going to reach your destination several days in advance of your first estimates. But at any rate, Ra, Bagal, the Enix that you're riding in, Bagal, you on the back of Ra. Ulreg pulls her Enix alongside, and you can see that the halfling Dukala is actually sitting just behind the Enix's head outside the howdah, kind of like cross-legged. She squints up at you, Bagal. A question comes in halfling. Why do you ride up there?
I like the view.
Ulrich thought you were her pet.
Well, Ulrich was wrong.
She is your mount.
She's my friend, and she's being very nice to me right now by letting me sit on her head.
Dakala leans forward and pats the back of the Inix's head. Yes, she is like your Inix.
No. No, man. See, this is why... Never mind.
Ra's just like...
I'm like pinching Ra's hair. I'm like, why did you do this?
Ra like big smile the entire conversation, and then when she says that Ra's your Inix, she just lets out like a huge laugh, but like not in like a mocking way, and like it just kind of she's enjoying the kind of the conversation between the two. And she will kind of steer the Inix so that we're also like kind of staying near like them two to keep the conversation going.
Can you speak
Halfling?
Halfling then? I guess
sorry, was that in Halfling?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, my bad.
I didn't specify, but
my
I guess
bad,
you could
sorry.
just laugh at a random point. It's like, what was funny?
So I'm just like, ha 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 ha. No, I guess I recognize that they're talking Halfling, so I'm like staying close.
Mhm.
But I don't laugh. Sorry, my mistake. I am smiling though because they're talking.
Who's laughing now?
Dakala looks back toward Ulreg. Maybe we try.
Well, it's done us a lot of good. Just don't steal our thing, okay?
Ulreg looks down and actually answers in Halfling. You're not too heavy. Dakala makes a series of fluting chirps, which you know to be a really rather rude insult about Ulreg's mother.
Oh dear.
Ulreg laughs. Come. Dakala leaps up, runs along the Inix's back, and Ulreg scoops her up and deposits her on her shoulder.
Yeah, it's not so bad up here, huh?
You can see quite far.
Yeah. Ryan used to have these great big ass horns that I used to be able to hold on to, and then, well, never mind, but...
Horns?
Yeah, horns, man. Because she's a giant.
Why do you not have horns? I could get a hat. Dakala nods. Not quite as good, really, is it?
No, it isn't.
Just quickly, big thank you to Manx for $12 for 4d6 inspirations.
Oh, yes.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Let's see who gets them.
Me. It better be
Thanks.
Me.
It's never me.
It is Ra,
Hey, thank you.
Portek,
Oh, it's not me.
Constantine, Tick, and the DM. No, it's not the DM. That's 4, wasn't it? That's it, yeah.
That's 4.
Yeah.
4.
So just tick.
Yes.
Ah.
So is this
Thank
conversation
you
all
very much,
taking place
Max.
in
Thank you.
Halfling?
I guess it
That
is.
was all in fluty Halfling.
You've been left out, son.
And all of it in Halfling, and Ra just like, they could be saying horrible things, but Ra's just smiling because she's like, they're talking.
Well, the conversation ends with the other Halfling being scooped up and placed on the other half giant's shoulders. Ulreg looks toward you. You're setting a good example, I think.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, thank
Look.
you.
She looks around. We have heard of you. We know who Min Max are.
Oh,
Hands.
it'll be great to work alongside you guys as well. I really look forward to it.
There's a weird, uncomfortable expression passes between the two of them. Yeah, Ulrich says. Yeah, okay. And then she flicks the reins of the Inix, and it trots a little way ahead, signaling the conversation is at an end.
Awkward.
What did
Something.
What did you guys talk about?
Oh, just being high up on a half giant's head.
Oh, that's fun.
That was a bit weird.
Constantine, some yards ahead of the group, you can see a shimmer on the near horizon. You also have begun to notice that the Enixes, the Crodlu, and the Kanks are all becoming somewhat unsettled. Noses sniffing the horizon, sniffing the air. Every now and then you see some of the Kanks wandering off and having to be pulled back into line. They're carrying most of the goods, so it's important to keep them under control. There's something distracting them.
The shimmer, is that by any means, with my new intelligence, is that a illusion I'm able to see through or no?
It is an illusion you're able to see through, but not a magical one. It appears to be some kind of a heat haze, and you suspect it's coming off a body of water somewhere not far ahead. Aramal, the elf, lopes up to catch up with you by your side. What do you make of that?
Could be water.
Could be water. Wow. You are an experienced desert traveler. Perhaps you should lead the animals ahead for them to have a drink.
Perhaps not. They're all losing their minds quite a little bit, and I'll reach down and start petting my Crodlu and say, "What's wrong?" I'm using speak with animals.
The Crodlu wickers in its throat deeply. Water. But wrong water.
Thank you, my friend. Work off your reserves. That water's not for us. And I'll start to divert away from that shimmer just to try to start appeasing, since I know they're following me, to appease the animals a bit.
Okay, so off the road and skirting around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so
I'll turn to my companion and say, well, why don't you take whatever animals you'd like and head in that direction? I don't think we'll be partaking.
Not at all. It was a test, Constantine, and you have passed it. These are the waters known as the Black Waters Oasis. They flow from the ruins of Yaramuk. They're poisoned. You and your mounts would have died.
Then the only question I have that would be on my mind is, how close would you have let us get to it before you stopped us, if at all, assuming I had been wrong?
Ah, a good question indeed. And he breaks into a run with the speed of an elf and is off. Nothing more than a puff of dust scouting the way ahead. Your small caravan indeed works its way around the edge of the road, and you can actually probably see on the map how the road itself cuts straight over the southern tip of the oasis, an old stone bridge spanning the waters there. But you, curving away over the stony barrens to the south, take the mounts well out of reach of the temptations of the poisoned waters, and curve eventually back toward the road. It adds a couple of hours to your travel time, and the day is darkening by the time you're back on the Road of Kings. But it's an obstacle well avoided. Portek, as your group is skirting the outer edges of the Black Waters, you see that Vemet has pulled his Inix up just on the inside. He kind of leans over on the edge of the Howdar. Psst. Hey, little Banshee. You don't feel a yearning? They're haunted, you know. The ruins of Yaramuk, haunted by the undead. You don't feel a call to go enjoy them? No?
Do I look undead to you?
Well, a little bit, yes. Look at you. You're covered in scars. I gave those to you.
If
I will
you
never forget what they're for.
ever looked in the mirror yourself?
I don't care. You do.
Do I?
Well, yes, of course. They're a mark of your failings. You'll wear them until the day you die and become a banshee again.
Right.
A reminder of what you really are.
So this is how you are trying to cooperate with this, as your master has ordered you to do? Trying to
My
get under my skin?
master?
Oh, yes.
You-
Amano is your master.
Uric is days
You're-
away from here.
you're-
If
you're
you
his-
want to,
you're his
you
little
can run.
bitch.
You can run back and ask him to look after you if you want. If the nasty defiler is hurting your precious little feelings.
I don't think that would be necessary. Now, off you fuck. Bye. And I close the curtain again of my little howdah.
Okay. You can hear Vemit's tittering under his wheezy breath as he urges his Inex to scuttle ahead a little bit further. And so the journey continues. A day, then another day. A smell is the first sign of you nearing it. The city-state of Ram. By far the most populous city-state of the Tablelands. A vast metropolis sprawling out across its surrounding lands. At camp the night before, Thovodarak has both groups come together. I suggest we take a detour around Ram. The surrounding lands are controlled by warlords. They will not look kindly upon a heavily armed expedition from Uric.
Where do you suppose we get our supplies from? In this journey that we're on.
Well, we passed by, unfortunately, Fort Zalis when we skirted the waters of Yaramuk. Fort Eben lies halfway to Drudge. Myself and Tiriana, of course, will be providing water for us. Do any of you have the ability to create it?
No.
Something of an oversight, I feel. But
We just tend to bring a lot with us.
We did so now as well.
yes, I can see. I would suggest being cautious with your water usage. Perhaps then, perhaps to compensate for your lack of preparedness, we should travel by night from here on out. We will use less water that way.
Thank you. It's what we normally do, but I think your ideas of traveling are still very good.
It's a terrible idea, Aramau the elf says.
Why is that?
Predators hunt at night. We expose ourselves to greater danger. Really, you don't have a water priest or a A
We
druid or
have
something
enough
with you?
people to keep watch, make sure we're safe. We don't need a
As you
water
wish. I am not a leader. I do as the lion commands, or his appointed representative, Lord Lubar. Good, Sophodarak says. Then we travel by night. Rest for the remainder of the day. The Queen chatters. Yes, of course. Jatek. Hunt. The Queen walks over toward you, cocks its head.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, it just said
Okay.
tick at you.
Oh. I look at it in Cree and I say, what would you like?
To hunt? Do you hunt?
Of course. Let us hunt.
We will hunt. And then he just scuttles off.
I follow him.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll follow him.
Okay. You're off and away and across the stony barrens at an incredible rate. Only perhaps Aramau the elf would be able to keep up with you. Tukreen racing into the late afternoon. Zatal, a wayward and lame Erdlu, a small burrow of Janks. The Jatek shows extreme skill at capturing and removing their poison glands. Of course, as your kit indicates, you are at best an indifferent hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And after perhaps an hour or two of this, on the loop back toward the camp, he stops briefly to rest his limbs. You hunt poorly.
I am a guardian, not a hunter.
What? They are your clutch. You guard them.
Yes.
This is acceptable.
You hunt well.
It is all I have.
That is enough.
It is not enough.
Why not?
You have clutch.
So do you.
I do not. And you now know what the smell is that you've been picking up on.
He's not.
He is a
receptive
queen
on
without a
something.
clutch.
We are a growing clutch. All are welcome.
I cannot be welcome.
Why not?
My clutch banished me. I must
what?
now. I do not wish to say. It gives me shame. I now serve
Shame-
the lion
shame.
coin.
Shame is for the flesh bags.
I have learned it from them. I think upon my actions. And I feel anger toward myself. That is shame.
It weighs you down. It is unnecessary.
Yes.
With me,
And yet,
you are welcome. Take it or not take it.
I will think on it.
This is a good thing.
My limbs are no longer tired. Come.
Okay. I follow him, and as a sign of my sincerity that he can join my clutch, I present him with a treacherous of Dazzle.
Okay, he puts all of the catches down and lowers his forehead until it touches the ground, and then takes the treacherous.
You are
There's
welcome in my clutch.
A mingling of pheromones, primarily surprise, hope, but regret most of all. Seldom have you encountered this particular scent amongst your kind.
He's been among the humans
Somewhere.
too long.
Also, he must have done something truly terrible.
We all have darkness in our past. Life is short. There is no time for regret and shame.
Without looking at you, he's still looking at the treacherous in his hands. I will think on what you have said.
And I urge him to follow me.
He does.
And we obviously pick up the kills we've collected.
Mm-hmm.
I don't leave
Head
them
back to the
behind.
camp.
And head back to the camp.
Okay.
Just a quick one.
So your group feasts.
Sorry.
Yes.
Massive thank you to Blue Box for 5 gifted subs, 1,000
Oh, wow.
bits for the glorious Dark Sun immersion, and to Magical Trevor for 500 bits. There's a hype train going. So thank you very much, guys. We've already completed level 1. We're on level 2. The higher that hype train goes, the more Kraken Dice store credit we can give away. So level 1 is $5. Level 5 is $50, for example. So thank you very much, guys. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much, Blue Box. And Trevor,
Thank you,
verily
thank you.
art thou magical. Huzzah. Very, very cool. So your group feasts well that night on a variety of soft meats returned to the camp by the 2 Kreen hunters. Thovodarak breaks out the emergency supply of broy and has cups of it spread all around the camp. Aramau sings a high-pitched, lilting song of desert yearning. Dukala drums along on the bare earth, an accompanying rhythm. For a small amount of time, it's actually pleasant. Of course, Vermit ruins it all. I must excuse myself from this merrymaking. I have studying to do. I understand that there may be undead abroad, perhaps wandering out of the Blackwater's oasis to dog our tracks, perhaps following the little banshee.
Does he say that to the whole
Porta
group?
quietly waits until he starts
Yes.
to continue.
If he says that to the whole group,
Yes.
Ra would just say, "Please don't call him that. His name's Portek."
Or his name was Portek, Vermit says, just kind of pausing at the door at the entrance to his tent. But I killed Portek.
And he came back.
Or you failed.
Yes.
One of the two.
Didn't do a very good job,
is
did you?
Oh, I did a very good job. You saw him yourself. You cut him down when he came for you, like the undead abomination that he became.
He
What we
did.
see here is something else. Well, if it's not Portek and it's not a banshee, does it even have a name?
You're very, very powerful, and you did a great job, but he's Portek again now. And we've been very kind to you, and I ask that you just refer to him as Portek. He is who he is again now. It's just kind.
Yes.
He's incapable of kind, so don't worry about it. Lubar, is this the way you hold sway over your group? We want to work together, then some premises of respect should be due to each other, don't you think?
Show some backbone, dwarf. They're just words.
He's trying to get under my skin. It's not conducive to us working together, is it?
Well, that's up to you, isn't it?
Oh, maybe you could just tell him off.
And maybe you could show some backbone.
Or you could tell him off.
Stop bleating like an upset nursemaid.
Or if we're at each other's throats like this non-stop, then we're going to be no good against any real threat because we're going to be watching over our shoulders.
Portek, I think you're mistaken. He's not the one in charge. It must be the guy who killed you.
Vemet, yeah, clearly. Yeah.
He's in charge, so it's not if he's in charge, then there's nothing that the others can do. So
Also not worth it.
Thovodarak smiles. I don't think I've ever had a half-giant trying to outwit me before. It's quite entertaining.
I'm not trying to outwit you. I'm sorry. I think Portek was mistaken is all. And it's Bra's face.
Brutally honest observation.
And Bra's face is completely sincere. She's not being sarcastic. She is completely sincere of like, oh no, I'm sorry. I think Portek was mistaken. But I'm sure you would make a great leader though if you were one.
At the side of the group you can see Ulreg and Dukala like
just quickly, we've just finished a level 1 hype train. Osiris 5k coming with 1,000 bits as well. So the whole lot is equivalent.
Thank you, man.
It's equivalent of like 7 inspirations, so everyone gets an inspiration.
We'll tweet
D20. A D20.
Everyone gets a D20. Yeah.
Nice.
Outstanding. I'm going to be using that really soon. Okay.
Don't say stuff like that.
What? It's the last session before the break. I've just abandoned all pretense now. It's just
Yes, that's fair enough.
Ra goes back to like Ra
It's
goes
a fair
back
call.
to Ra goes back to eating some food, and she just goes, to be honest, I think we'd all make great leaders if we were one.
under her breath, you can, Ulreg, you can hear out the half giant mumble. Yeah, I think I have to agree with you.
You would make an incredibly good one, Ulrich.
You notice that actually Ulrich has kind of sat herself down right next to Ra. And you can see her, I mean, Ra doesn't notice this, but you can see her watching how Ra's legs are crossed, how she's holding her bowl. Ulrich appears to be just trying to get the same positioning right. Next to you, Bengal Magal, Dukala the halfling nudges you. Look.
What?
You know what half giants are like.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah. Why don't you get Ra to, like, I don't know, wear a hat or I don't know, put some kind of war paint on, here or something, and we'll see how long it takes Ulrich to copy her.
I do you one better. Hey Ra, take off that blindfold for a second.
Oh, all right. And she raises it, just revealing the empty sockets in her head. It's horrific to look at. It's not pleasant. They were not removed gently. They were from the horns growing in. The sockets are quite large from the horns. There's a lot of scarring, and it's just not. It's not a pretty sight.
Ulrich just stares, bowl, spoon, halfway to mouth.
Yeah, Bengal is just like doubling over laughing at this point. He's having a great time.
So is a bug gone in it again? Just like digging
No,
to try and
don't
get like
worry,
the bug
don't
out.
worry, honey. It's fun. Just a little
Don't feel
experiment.
Oh,
Anybody want my soup?
she'll cover it again.
Tin will take that soup.
Yeah, Uri happily hands it to you, heads off to her tent. Dokala looks over at you, Bengal. I'm impressed. You're a mean motherfucker.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
The next day is a tense one. The Road of Kings runs right through Ram, and you're forced to divert yourself around the city to wind your way through its surrounding villages. Even at this distance from the city, you can see the desperate state that it's in. Fields lying fallow, crops gone bad, bodies by the side of the road, bloated with flies, black with days and days of rot. A large band of armed warriors passes you by just after nightfall. Another after midnight. The city of Ram itself is a constant, ruddy blur on the horizon. But you press on, driving on through the night into the east until the horizon in that direction begins to shimmer with the approach of day. The land now on the outskirts of Ram's verdant belt is an endless plain of hard-packed earth and blistered rocks. Eventually, as the sun just begins to blush over the horizon, dispelling the darkness of the night, Aramau runs back, signaling that he's found a place to rest, and actually looks at you, Constantine. Perhaps you would like to make sure that it's a good choice?
Get up, brush the sand off of me as much as I can, and go investigate as well.
It's little more than a depression in the sand, sheltered on two sides by a structure of sandstone. Maybe the remnants of an old grain silo or a guard outpost. There's nothing around it that would indicate what it once was. But it'll provide some limited protection from the desert winds. Winds that will soon be carrying the blistering freight of the day's heat. It'll do.
It's good enough for our needs. Should get the others.
All right. Can you make me an observation check, please?
Always.
Okay, nice. Okay, so Aramau heads off, racing back toward the rest of the group. I mean, they're, a couple of 100 yards away from you as you've been up ahead. Just as you're about to spur your mount after him, you feel something. It's like it comes up through the soles of the Crotalus feet and up through the saddle. A deep throbbing in the earth.
I will. How far away is he at this point?
From the rest of the group?
Yeah.
So let's just say
vision-wise, how easily can they see 10?
200 yards, 240 yards away.
Well. And I feel this thrumming coming up from like beneath the ground.
It's like no, you think it's coming from underground, actually.
I will turn into a rock and fly straight up. Okay,
right. Transformation overcomes you. Crodlu squawks in terror and just bolts as shadow of a rock's wings surround it, and upwards you go. From your high position, you can see it. There is a disturbance in the earth. It's about 150 yards beyond where you are, like as if the ground was somehow being moved from underneath, earth falling in upon itself, and it's moving toward your companions at considerable speed.
Would I know what this is with my animal lore and being an animal? I think it's a silt worm, possibly.
Give me an animal lore roll, please.
Sure. Yep. That's a 10. That'll pass.
That's a 10. Okay. Yes. Fuck. It's worm sign.
So I will take off as fast as I can towards the group.
Okay. You go streaking toward the group. The rest of you can see the rock that those of you who know it to be tin, coming swooping in toward you, wings spread. There is considerable consternation amongst Urikites at the sight of a rock streaking toward them. And you can see Vemit reaching for his spell pouch.
It's Constantine, stop it.
Hey, Tin.
And I will...
Tin?
Swoop in again, feathers, arms, all coming in and falling like loosely, almost like wind just took it into the side, into my cloak. Siltworms headed this way, fast. And I'll say, let's start heading. They're headed on a direct path, so let's start heading away as fast as we can. How far back would I say they are? How far away are they at this point?
So 240, 100. So they're about 300 yards away.
Oh, so there's no way. Yeah. So be ready to fight. We are not getting away from them.
Is there any solid rock nearby?
So no, as I mentioned, you are on a sort of plain of hard baked sand and blistered rocks. There's no actual rocky outcrops. It's the edges of the verdant belt.
Gotcha.
Why don't I get an initiative roll actually for this?
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, initiative rolls.
Dang, those high rolls though.
Okay, Bingle Bangle.
8.
Constantine.
3.
Matthias.
5.
Tick tick.
I'm just gonna roll a d20 because I don't actually know what I'm gonna do.
A D10.
D10.
Sorry, d10. Sorry. 2.
Okay, nice. Portek.
2.
And Ra.
11.
Okay. Okay. On a 1, Thoradar gives an order. Urukite Company! Formation Balamarash! He shouts. And immediately the Urukites form into a tight wedge with the defiler in the middle, the Templars at the front, the half-giant and the Kreen at the back, and the elf some yards ahead, and begin cutting a swathe back around the edge of the verdant belt, straight out toward the where they hope there's going to be firmer ground. On 2, Tick Tick and Portek.
Can I do a quick observation to see if they're correct?
Yeah, give me an observation roll, please. So in the rising heat of the day, you're unable to make out anything in that direction. The heat haze surrounds you like a swathe. Any actions from you?
I will follow that group.
You're going to run after them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Portek.
I will do the same.
Okay, Constantine.
I'm casting a spell. I'm on 11.
Okay.
Can
Matthias.
can I cast on the back of my?
No.
Just can I use danger sense for anything here?
Yeah. Okay. So give me a wisdom check, please.
A wisdom check, you say?
I do say it.
I don't know if that's. Oh, hang on. No, it's this one.
Okay, nice. Yes. So you can feel it yourself now, coming up through the ground. A low, deep basso rumbling. You can feel the earth shaking around you. It is as if sand were upon the surface of a drum, while great hands beat upon its skin. Everywhere, tiny particles of dust are leaping up and down with greater intensity all across the earth. Whatever it is, it's close by you.
I follow the group and get into the middle.
Of your companions.
Well, I follow the formation.
All right, so you're going to be behind them because they have a head start on you. You're not particularly fast than any of them. But so you're heading off in that direction as well, yeah?
Yeah. Weren't we all together originally then?
Yes, but they have a better initiative count than you.
Okay.
Bagal. You are still on Ra's Inix, I believe. Any actions from you?
Yeah, I'll be using this time, to prepare my armor, get myself situated. So I'll just be
Nice.
doing armor optimization, but wherever Ra's going, I'm going to go, which I assume is with the rest of the group.
You're going with. Okay, gotcha. And Constantine, your spell goes off at the same time as Ra does what?
Animal summoning 3.
Okay, nice. Ra, what are you doing?
Ra will hearing them go off into that distance, she's going to follow on the Inix. And is it possible while I'm steering to do armor optimization as well?
Yes, likewise. Good.
I will do
Okay,
the
so okay, cool. What are you summoning, Tim?
Trying to summon those silt worms.
You're trying to summon a silver. Okay, hold on.
They turn against us.
Technically, it's up to the DM's discretion, but I'm trying to call the creatures coming towards us.
Okay.
Just transform into a siltworm that's like attractive and be like, yoo-hoo!
I don't think tin should be attractive to anyone. Just the fact that people put up with them is like kind of the chef's kiss.
Okay, up to 4 animals of no more than 16 hit dice can be summoned. So that's what you're going for, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Give me a D4 roll, please.
Where's the? I have different screens today. D4. Roll out 4.
Oh, okay. Right. Your spell activates and you send out a deep summoning wave into the surrounding lands where there is one sink worm. Maybe there may well be another. Okay. And then it erupts into view. An immense monstrosity, scaled length, 100 feet of it bursts out of the earth, scattering clods of dried soil in all directions, chunks of stone falling like boulders. Tin, you having been the only one who hasn't fled, are at ground zero when it emerges.
That's perfect.
It rises up above you, its great jaws opening wide like a scene from a movie trailer. I can't think which one, but nevertheless, it's going to hit armor class 32.
Yeah, I think that gets me, yeah.
Okay, is that more than 4 points over? I believe it is. All right.
Yeah, easily.
So the rest of you looking back over your shoulders, Bengal, you are at the rear of the group. Ra driving the Inix forward. It's just as you kind of turn around to sort your arm out, you see the immensity of the siltworm rise up. Come here. There is a picture, actually.
How big is it small?
How big is it? It's about 15 feet across, which surrounds Tin completely and engulfs him, swallowing him whole. Constantine vanishes, disappearing into the gullet of the siltworm. The sinkworm.
Well, not to worry you or anything, but I think Constantine just got swallowed by a giant worm in the desert.
You take 12 damage, Constantine. Puts you on 59.
Spat all over my desk. That's fun. We love that.
Inside, there's like 16 other people. They're like, hey,
Let's go.
welcome.
Welcome to the crew.
Okay. Anybody who wants to take any actions other than running away can roll me initiative, please. Those of you who are just running away don't need to roll.
Do we?
Just run away.
We gotta help him. Like,
Okay. Here's the
It's up to
thing.
you if you
Here's
do.
the
I
thing.
mean,
No,
I would like
see-
to help
I see
Constantine,
Panda
but
on a
it's
5
also
there.
it's also a giant fucking worm. Like I don't know what I
okay,
can
so
do
it's
about
15. The mouth is 15 feet across, and how long is it?
Yes. You can see about 100 feet of it emerging out of the ground. Matthias on a 7 there. That's 2 to help you there, Tim.
All right, I'll bloody help him.
I'm not pressuring you.
oh, fine. I'll help my teammate who's just been swallowed by a worm.
It's so
I'm a little
gauche.
late in the group. 10.
I see a 10 there from Portek. Okay, cool.
there was a 1 from me if it mattered.
Wait,
I did note that down.
Anyone seen that SpongeBob episode with the Alaskan bullworm?
Magic
Because that's all I'm imagining right now. It's just the Alaskan bullworm.
are you kidding? I got an 11.
11
I don't
again.
think that's at all true.
11 from TikTok.
Because I rolled
Okay,
a
cool.
4 and it's been added to be an 11. I don't get it.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know. So
What are you-
technically,
what are
I got
you-
a
what are you-
4.
What are you clicking on?
Initiative for the raptor.
For that's the crossbow.
Yes,
Oh, okay, so then that is right.
that is right then. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that is right. Crossbows are slow because you've got to.
Yeah.
Conk.
Nice, no worries.
Okay, and okay, shit. Right. Let's go here. Okay, right. Constantine. First. Actually, it doesn't happen until later in the round. So, you are engulfed in the thing's gullet, teeth like knives closing upon you from all directions. The very motion of the thing's body is like being in the middle of grinding millstones, forcing you down into the gullet. You can't breathe. You can't see. You have no weapons in your hands, so are unable to do any physical damage to it. Is there anything you want to do?
Yeah, I think so. Give me a minute.
Well, you rolled a 1, so.
Well, I can't really count as the spell because I'm going to be damaged anyway.
If you have a spell that has verbal components only, you can do it, or some kind of
Yeah,
granted
that's what
power,
I don't.
but
Yeah, I don't have any
material or somatic is a no.
I'm gonna armor optimization. I will shift my cloak as I roll down its stomach.
Okay, you look fine, but you're still being eaten. Ra.
I will, hearing that he's been eaten, I'm going to turn the Inix and begin charging towards, not where the head has emerged from the ground, but the body that is kind of coming out. Is it possible to kind of like
wheel the Inix around and?
Is it possible to kind
go.
of like jousting style, like charge the Inix towards it, and then with my Latulus like whack it as I go by?
Yes, the Latulus doesn't give you double damage on a charge. Some weapons do, but it can absolutely do that, and you'll get a +2 to hit.
Okay, cool. And would I still get 3 attacks, or would it be less?
Yes, you would.
Oh, sweet. +2 to hit, so all of them will be +2. So that is 35, 24, and 38.
All hit.
2 hit.
Okay.
1 was a natural 1.
Oh, okay.
Natural
yes, that
1
was
hit
good.
armor class 22.
Still was.
Who's 31? Who's 31?
Yeah.
Is it?
No, it's
So it doesn't hit on a natural one.
Right.
That is
43 damage,
43 damage. Oh, sorry. That is 43 damage as she just kind of is yelling, charging, and just like flips it around, but misses the second of the main hits.
Yeah.
Does it sound like I really did anything to this thing?
Okay, yeah. So the Latulus blade, the Latulus is metal, right?
It's steel, I believe.
Steel, yeah, right. So the Latulus blade slices through the Synquem's heavy hide, and there is a resounding splash of hot fluid that spatters across you as you drive past. Bagal, it's quite literally drenches you, a great gout of silkworm blood as you go thundering by. But yes, you can see that Ra is absolutely damaging it. Okay, so Matthias, what are you doing?
Looking to where Ra just hit the creature and put a dent in its armor. I'm going to fire. Yep. I'm going to attempt 3 venomed darts. 2, because it's 2 and 3. Mm-hmm. I remembered this time. Oh my god, it's 27 or 29.
Mark, I sent you my action, by the way, in secret. In Zoom.
Okay, it saves on both of the saving throws. What's the save damage?
It is...
Gotcha, Dwarf.
It's 2d6 plus my thing. It's -6 to those saves, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, they're still saves.
They're still, even with the 11, yeah?
It's got like 1,000,000 hit dice.
Oh, God. Where are you? Darts. Large.
Give me total damage in a minute while I'm going to have it chew on Constantine.
29 damage.
29.
Yep.
Okay. Tin, you take 15 more damage from being deep inside its gullet.
Would you like me to do my thing now, or no?
If you're ready with it, yeah. You're on 40.
Yeah. Then, as you would see it, Tin starts to kind of carapace over and grows into a Wattroach beetle, gigantic size. 30 feet long.
Outstanding. What's the hit dice on that thing?
Hit dice 15 plus 10.
15. Okay.
Just break this thing in half.
Yeah, there is a monstrous eruption from the thing's throat as its outer gullet splits open. Where are we? It's...
Bloody hell.
Yeah, that's 1d6 for every hit dice. And it takes an awful lot of damage. And out of the front of its throat, which is now burst open, there emerges an immense beetle, like a huge towering carapace with tiny spindly legs underneath and a small head on the front of it that looks around back and forward. The head is bald and has a very nice beard, though. The heavily injured worm lunges for the next thing that it can see, which is the Inix bearing Bingle Bangle and Ra. 1 to 3 is Bingle Bangle, that's a 2. That hits armor class 18. Bagal. As the thing lunges down towards you, you look over your shoulder, you can see half of its throat is hanging out. Its jaws, nevertheless, try to close upon you. You leap from Ra's back, just out of the way in time, landing in the pit of the Howdar as it closes over the top of the Howdar, ripping the wood struts away, but failing to land any attack against you.
Is attack of opportunity a thing in this?
Not for having your throat out, no. Only when you're fleeing battle. Portek.
Portek casts a magic missile.
Okay.
Sick. Should be with you in a bit. Go ahead. My character sheet is
Your thing's hanging, is it? Okay, I'll get back to you in a sec. Okay,
yeah.
Tick and Bagal. Bagal, you were launching a crossbow bolt?
Yes, I'm going to use one of the magic bolts that I've got.
Go for it.
I'm going to try and aim it at where I think the brain is.
Okay, good. Cold shot. Go for it.
Wherever that is. So... Yeah. to hit. What armor class is it?
It's going to be armor class 18 with the cord shot. Yes, nice. Okay,
Nice.
automatic max damage.
Okay, which is 1d8 plus 1. So 9.
9.
No, it's going to be 1d8 plus 1, plus the magic bolts, so plus the raptor, which is a 9, 10 magic bolts, 11, 12, and your dex 13, 14, 15 damage for a single shot.
Cool.
Outstanding. Okay, and I see another. Was that another 11 there from you, Carl?
Press.
Okay, the magic missiles slice into position. Tick at the same time as Bengal shoots his crossbow bolt, you can feel further tremors coming from beneath the sand.
Oh, well, can I still attack the one that's currently attacking Bengal?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm going to run as fast as I can up its back, along its spine, and then when I get to the top of the head, I'm going to take out Othan's flame, ignite it, and shove it down its head. At least that's what I'm going to try to do. I should probably. It's two-handed.
Oh, I have another missile.
Oh wait, no, that's the damage. Sorry, my bad. Where is it? Armor class 30.
That's a hit. Yes. 16. Nice.
And I get more than one attack, I think, but
no, it's 3 every 2 with the flame.
Oh yeah, so okay. So and then there's the flame damage as well. So I don't know if that's
an extra 3 points.
Okay.
Okay, right. Othan's flame ignites, and you drive it into the thing's massive head. It slumps, collapses forward onto the ground. You can see it quivering, desperately trying to rise, and then out of nowhere, a single, somewhat slower magic missile, BAM! Strikes home.
I had 5, that's 4.
Was this like the little magic missile that could?
Yes.
He was looking for it. It was up his sleeve. He was like, come on. Out you go.
However, to your delight, it appears to have been the magic missile that made all the difference. As the great worm's body quivers once, twice, and then lies still.
Tonight we feast.
Slain. And then they emerge from the sands. 4 more of them. Great pillars of armored flesh. Mouths hanging open. And they bow before the Watroach beetle.
Carapace, everything just unfolding as I just kind of pick myself up off the ground.
Transformer.
And just say, everybody, calm down. They're mine. They're good. And I'll bow back to them and say, we could use your speed, my friends.
They will indeed improve your speed.
Are we seriously gonna do
Yeah.
a worm ride? That would be awesome.
So I originally called them when I heard the rumblings to try to stave off whatever was heading in our direction, but they were a little late. But they'll increase our speed considerably.
What do we do about Unix? This is enough.
Sit him on its back.
The Enix is no way going to be able to sit on the thing's back. However,
Yeah.
with a little bit of time, you could probably rig packs. These are going to shave, let me see, what are we? Speed 18 compared to the Enix is a 15. That's another 25%. So that's going to shave your time down to a week. You're all... you're already almost halfway there at that speed.
It's. I leave it up to you. We can use my friends here, or
For how long are they under your control, or at your service?
Quite a while.
Until the end of the task you set them.
Until the end of the task. So they could, if I ask them to take us to our destination, they'll be with us as long as then, at which I will thank them for their efforts, thank them for what they've done, and then they can continue on.
Also, the Kreen can run alongside them without losing speed.
Yep. Cream the same speed. And the elf will almost certainly run. Elves do not ride.
And so what do we do with our mounts?
And that's a great question.
You can see the Urikites, by the way, have stopped a few hundred yards away. They're kind of like...
Give them to the Urikites. They can bring up the rear.
Yeah. And we go there and we meet them at that fort. What was it?
We're
Bitter
riding
well.
it.
Yeah.
They're going to
I'll
arrive,
pull the,
6 days later?
They'll arrive a few days later, but at least we'll be in place and be able to set up defenses, get a good canvas of the area.
So looking at the map, by the way, the map, you guys are here, right there. So you've come halfway through the journey anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and the remaining time you will make in half again. So about another 4 days to make it to Bitterwell. But you will be able to go quite simply in a straight line, right across the Stony Barrens.
Let's do that then.
I'm a little hesitant to leave the others though. Like, because they could then plan something.
Yeah.
And
So, it didn't really help us.
Do you see the size of? Well, it really depends on what you're worried about for the mounts. Now, if you're talking about our new friends, we could easily all fit on these.
Look, at Bitterwell, are we going into the Silt Sea, right? This is what I understood.
We will.
Yeah,
be.
Bitterwell is actually inland a little bit, but that's the closest point. The Urikites might have some information or some awareness or a contact or something, but that's where the.
So this is where we need
mission
to
is
be.
headed.
That's where we need to be anyway.
So we
Yes.
can fit them on these. These are not small. They seem small to you in any measure. And as I say, if they seem small in any measure and motion my hands, they'll all rear up. Like, and as I'll let them know, just like, but not like threateningly. They just kind of stand up, like kind of just go upright as they're out of the ground. I think we can all fit.
So why don't we just use this and we go with everybody there to Bitterwell?
I've never taken that off the table.
Yeah. I think that's not a bad idea then. If that's the end point of our journey, let's bring this to the Urikites and see what they say.
And I'll make a motion asking, lay down, my friends. And so that way they'll take a more...
The sinkworms settle themselves onto the surface of the baked earth. There's a low kind of pulsating sound of their long, slow breathing.
As they do that, I'll walk around and I'll rub my hand on each one of them, kind of petting them, speaking to them, letting them know how appreciative I am and that they came with such haste.
Also, just, pretend you can't see the dead one.
Somewhat cautiously, the Urikites approach your group once more. Aramau, the elf, of course, is first to reach you. What the fuck?
What?
The fuck would be, we need the rest of you over here so we can discuss.
No criticisms? That's new.
What has happened?
Do you have any cocky things to say to me? Is there a lesson that you should be teaching me in this moment?
I mean, normally I have a list, but I'm a little.
We need your group
well
here
done,
so we can
Constantine.
discuss.
Oh, they'll be here shortly, as quickly as their stumpy little legs can carry them. And sure enough, the Urikites arrive on their Crodlu and their Enixes, gathering together the somewhat frightened pack mounts. I'm guessing, Thovodarik says, pointing at the dead one, that one you don't control.
No, it turned out the dead one I don't control now.
A druid. Useful. Why are the others still here? He looks around at the other four.
They're kind. I would like to enlist them to take us to our destination. All of our supplies can go with us. We can fashion packs. And we can get there half the time, but it would mean leaving behind our mounts. Or selling them to someone, or using them as food, though I'd prefer not to.
Elves run, Aramau says.
Yeah, but you're just as quick as those worms, so that's not a real problem. You can just keep up.
Quicker.
Oh.
Thank you.
My apologies.
I believe our Kreen friends will keep pace, but as for the rest of you, yes, I suppose you will be riding Constantine's worm.
I don't like how you put
say
that.
it like that. I don't.
Yeah.
Worms.
I'm sorry if its size scares anyone, but
Moment.
Why is that one leaning to the left?
had a bad day, okay? No. So everybody
Just the weather.
can pick one, and how many of us are there here? It
Well,
really doesn't matter.
mine
You could
is
all
the-
fit on one if you wanted to.
Mine is the two Kreen and the elf. We have how many left?
There are 7 in the Urukite party. So the Kreen and the elf bring that down to 5.
So there's 10 not riding. No, sorry, there's 10 riding and 3 not riding.
So I suggest that the 2 giants take 1 worm, 4 of the Urukats take a second worm, and us groups take the remaining worm. And then we strap, or we put one on the other worm and put all the water and supplies that we have on that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
it could work.
It will take us the rest of the day to fashion traveling packs for these things, assuming we all work together on this.
Mhm.
Vemed looks at him, his expression clear enough. He settles himself back down in the howdah. Let me know when you're ready. Hey, Ulrich says. Vemed, you help too, yeah? No. The sooner you're done, the sooner we can be away from here. Come on, hop to it.
I'm sorry
Ulrich
he's so
shrugs.
mean.
I'll turn to the rest of them and say, would you like me to institute a rule of no help, walk?
Bother. It's fine. Just let's not get
If they're to be made to help
riled up.
preparing them,
I think you just
Ra
ask
just
it
leans
to
down
eat
to
him.
Tin, and she'll just go, what if we get everyone to do like a test ride, and then we just leave without them?
Iriana leans over towards you, Constantine. We need him. He is our contact for Bitterwell.
He's afraid of something like that. Yeah.
So he's not actually a part of your group then?
I think that you and us have different perspectives on what makes a group, she says.
Yes.
Possible. I'll arc my neck back towards Ra and go, I like your idea, but it seems like we need them. All right, we should start fashioning these packs and get everything going.
Yeah.
This is going to sound really mean, but circle of life and nature and all, we should probably give one of the Crotaloo to each one of these as a meal, something to eat.
That makes sense.
Ross just like trying to hold back the tears. No.
It's this or no, they could be killed on the way back. At least this way we know that they're helping us in a natural way rather than us killing them and eating them. It's for the best. And I assume by this,
though.
Uranix isn't with us because Uranix is back at the in Tyr. Remember, you rode me.
Oh, she like looks at her like where she like her head aims at the Inix and she's like, oh, like
yeah, I'm the Inix that you rode on. It was me.
So this one's not.
No, none of these are. Yeah, these are all various.
Oh, that's fine then.
Good.
Okay, so I assume we have probably four of the Crotaloo unpacked already.
She's all like, ah.
This is what I suggest. Aramau says, I will take the mounts we're not going to take with us. And I will head about 2 miles back that way. There was one of the last villages of Ra. I will sell them there for what coin we can manage. And I will be back here by the time you finish doing all the hard work.
Leave for...
That's a good plan.
Of the Crotaloo as a offering to our friends here. One each.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Worms got to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. So Aramau busies himself with the getting the mounts together, bereft of the packs and supplies, gathers them off, and at an incredible pace shepherds them away and back toward the last settlement east of Ram. For the rest of you, apart from Vemit, there are several hours of fairly back-breaking labor, figuring out exactly how first, and then the methodology, and then making it work. But by the time you are done, indeed, across 3 of the worms, you have passable saddles, howdahs, and your various supplies are in place.
Is it possible for me to use my craft armorer to
That will be a fairly vital component.
Okay, cool.
Even though she can't see, Ra is in fact becoming somewhat of a foreman throughout the entire process. By the time Aramau is back, the worms are ready to ride. The Urikites, Vemit included this time, have clambered up the sides, and Thovodarik looks over towards you, Tin, waiting for the word.
Has Vemit came out yet or no?
Yes. He's in position.
I'll take an account of everyone there and then just lean down, kind of, again, pet the one I'm on and just say, show us haste. And then have that one start moving forward with the rest to follow.
And show you they do. Their bodies surging in inching motion that rises in incredible speed, thrumming beneath you. The great beasts race out across the verdant plain and into the open desert. A true demonstration of desert power as you leave the verdant belt of Ram behind and streak off into the east, the worms cutting a swathe across the stony barrens toward Bitter Well. And there is no force in the tablelands that can stand in your way now. The town of Bitterwell lies beyond Drudge, where the Road of Kings turns north into unknown reaches of the Tablelands. The worms come to a halt a couple of miles out of town, so as not to spook the locals and also destroy all their houses. Constantine, their task fulfilled, they bow their great annelid heads to you once more before descending into the earth. From a rocky outcrop, you can see your first sights of Bitterwell itself. It's tiny. And no more than 100 souls must call this place home. A forsaken outcrop on the edge of nowhere. All around, a low-lying curtain of silt drifts over the land. The worms have deposited you on high ground, but to get into Bitterwell itself, you'll be descending down toward that. It's a fine dust that hangs everywhere, and even here up on this elevated promontory, you can see that it's already caking your arms, your faces. You can feel it in your nostrils, and in the corners of your eyes and ears. Powder thin, grayish gold in color. You and the Urikites together stare down at the tiny hamlet of Bitterwell. Decisions, Sophodaric says. Do we take lodgings here? Acquire what supplies we can?
We shouldn't need too many supplies. We saved quite a bit with that trip.
We have done well on our journey.
We need something to protect us from the silt.
Aramau? Yes, Aramau says, yes. My tribe, the Silt Stalkers, know of such things. There are two precautions we can take. We can get ourselves filter masks, or I can show you how to fashion them if you wish. A cloth tied across mouth and nose. You must keep it wet. About a half a gallon a day. A couple of gallons if your face is the size of those two. He jerks his thumb at the half giants. And a little less for our forest-loving friends here. And he smirks down at the halflings. Another alternative is to adopt Vemet's fashion sense. His goggles. They will help offset some of the natural discomfort that the silt will produce. Being able to see poorly is one thing. Without a filter mask, a silter, as the sailors call it, you will die. It is called the Grey Death. It will cake your lungs, and you'll be dead within the hour.
So we need to get these. You think they are obtainable in the village below?
And easily affordable with the money from those mounts that were sold?
Look, if you're willing to do so, I can fashion them from. He looks over at Constantine. Well, I mean, your cloak, for example.
I'll open my bag, pull out my my spare. It's not one of my two good ones. It's my my rattier, like just generic. This should be enough for everybody, or will we need more than this?
No, I will need 2 of your cloaks if you have more than one. I noticed you had a spare in there as well.
And I'll bring out the one more for urban sort of setting. Here.
Yes.
How
Right,
will that
good.
work for a screen? We don't have nostrils. I point to my
No, that's
spiracles
why
under my arm.
that is why I need a little bit of extra. I will provide a torso wrap for the pair of you. You'll still need to keep it wet, just the same. Otherwise, it will clog you up.
I have my own dust goggles. I'll pull them out of my bag and put them on.
Do Kreen need goggles? Well, we can't wear goggles.
Will this
can't
be
even wear them.
okay?
No.
She points to the kind of
You,
Covering.
my dear, have no eyes to become irritated by the silt, Aramau says. You are blessed in that regard. The elements have smiled on you.
she
After that
smiles
fashion.
back at the elements.
Well, he looks over at Vemet. I suppose this is where you earn your keep, eh? My foul friend? Vemet goes stock still. Don't call me that. But of course, Aramau says, bowing low, I forget myself. I apologize, Lord Vemet.
So Aramau a wink.
But yes, Vemet says, as you say, I will go and find our factotum, shall I?
Do we trust him to get that stuff for us?
I'm still here.
Do we
He
trust
can't do
you
it without
to get
us.
that thing?
Yeah, so I'll say he can't do this by himself, or we wouldn't be here. So it's in his best interest to do what's needed until the job's done.
Vemet, enough posturing, Thobadaric says. Go and find your contact. The longer we linger here, the more exposed we are. My Lord Templar, Vemet says, and pulls robe around his head and face, obscuring almost all of his features except for his goggles. And looks like any other native who's born and raised near the silt. Heads down the slope and
Except for the
soon is lost from sight amongst the blurs and shadows of Bitterwell. Aramau sits down with your cloak and just starts ripping it to shreds. And you can see him, actually with fairly practiced hands, fashioning the ends into a pair of interesting kind of knots with a loop around the back. And before long, there are about a dozen serviceable filter masks, which Aramau has pretty much spun together out of whole cloth, as it were. In the meantime, you remove the various supplies from the backs of the worms, and Aramau shows you how to fit the masks over your head, around your face, how to douse them, and keep them moist.
Mark, while people are preparing, I'm going to go closer towards the Sea of Silt, as close as I can, and dedicate myself to the land.
Well, you can see from as you head to the rear of the promontory, You guess the shoreline is probably an hour or two's walk away.
Oh yeah, I'll wait then. That sounds good.
But I rather fancy you'll have time for that shortly. At any rate, about an hour or so later, Bemet returns. He is, as you might expect, not alone. He's accompanied by a dwarf. Grimy, extremely ancient. The crow's feet around his face almost look as if they've been drawn in with charcoal. So thick are they, with dust and grime and old silt. He's dressed in simple robes, carries a long staff, from the top of which hangs a bone horn. Comes to a halt, regards you all. This is the cargo, he says.
Yes.
Bemet nods.
This is the, as you say, cargo.
Follow me, the dwarf says.
I can leave the worms behind.
And he leads you down the southern slope of the promontory, straight toward the Sea of Silt. Tin, as you've already guessed, it's a couple of hours' walk over the rocky terrain. Ra and Ulreg, you do more than your fair share of carrying the group's supplies slung over your backs, water skins, food. Kreen likewise stows them around the back of his abdomen and thorax. Tik, I'm guessing you're lending a hand there too?
Yeah.
You are all of you thoroughly worn out, bone tired. But, yes, silk goggles. But the ever nearer presence of the Sea of Silt eclipses your weariness. The closer you get, the more its size seems overwhelming. Ahead of you, you can see where the land just stops, falls away. The silt, the wind is low today, hangs in a low cloud. But beyond that, stretches in gently undulating waves as far as you can see, toward the southern horizon, to the east and to the west. A great, slowly shifting and sighing ocean of golden grey dust. You're already glad of the filter masks. It's in your ears, it's in your noses, but with the moisture, you're able to hawk it up, spit it out, rub it from your eyes. Surely the Grey Death is truly named. The dwarf leads you to the very edge of the shoreline, where a cliff drops away some 20 feet straight down into the silt. And there he stands and raises the bone horn to his mouth and blows a single clear note that echoes out across the endless wastes and the tracts of silt before you. He looks back over his shoulders at you. Get comfortable, he says. As comfortable as you can be, you settle down on the hard, stony ground, the silt blowing, a gentle sighing curtain around you. And this ritual continues over the course of several hours, the dwarf repeatedly blowing the horn out over the apparently empty silt. The heat of the day builds. Aramau becomes agitated. Vemet as well. Tin, you settle yourself down on the side of the silt meditate until your mind and it, your spirit and it, enter into communion. Saying on that, please.
Is there any chance we can erect a shelter?
You have your basic tents with you, so you
Might
set
be
those up.
wise to set those up and just kind of
Protect
out of the
yourself
sun.
from the worst of the heat of the day as it gets hotter and hotter. Eventually, you can see Bemet's temper starting to fray. Thovodarik insists that he remain calm, but Bemet is striding up and down. Eventually turns on the dwarf.
You said this would work. I've paid you in gold, my little friend. If you don't produce some results soon, well, you can ask him. Yes, the scarred one. What happens to those who earn my displeasure?
The dwarf doesn't even look at him, just blows another note.
Do I need to make a second banshee to make my point? Am I not being clear somehow?
People don't tend to work well under pressure.
Shut up, you blind fool! Who asked you?
He reaches down and grabs hold of the dwarf, lifts him up by his tunic.
How much longer is it going to take?
It's because Bemet is facing away from the Sea of Silt that he doesn't spot what the rest of you see. Figures moving through the silt. At first you wonder how on earth these people are staying afloat, these men and women. And yet you realize they are no ordinary men and women. The sheer size of them. These are giants. Not half giants, but the full breed. Oblivious to them, Bemet continues berating the dwarf, shrieking and yelling, spittle on his lips. The first of the giants reaches the shore, rises from the dust to its full height. Its shoulders and head level with and over the cliff. And as its shadow falls across Bemet and the dwarf, only then does the defiler cease his somewhat frenzied ranting. And he's like, "That's it."
There, you see?
Oh,
Patience maketh the master, Bemet.
I don't
For
think you
once-
put them down. They're going to make you. They're going to show you that you're not the master. I don't want to piss those off. Maybe you do.
For once, Bemet has no snide reply. The largest of them climbs up onto the outcrop and kneels down beside the dwarf. Kulu Chumam Talia Kuda Freeman. The dwarf replies in the same tongue. The sound of the giant's voice it's like the presence of sinkworms under the earth. You feel it in the ground, you feel it in your chests, you feel it at the base of your skulls. Rather, you cannot see them. You can sense the size of these things.
Ra like kneels and just has her head like looking where she imagines there to be, and just kind of a face of like amazement as she just kind of is listening to this language that she's not heard before.
Bagal, you see Ulreg walks over and kneels down next to Ra. Dukala looks at you.
see?
Monkey see, monkey do.
They're just the best, aren't they? It's like having a giant dog.
Well, if I'm not her pet, then she is not mine.
Tyrians, you're so progressive.
Bloody liberals.
Giant, after having finished his conversation with the dwarf, turns to face you all.
Freeman says you need carry into Silt.
Ra just like nods, like still with like amazement of what's happening.
Good. Freeman, friend to us. We carry you where you go.
We go ahead, please.
I was just gonna say, while waiting for them to speak up, Ra, like to Ulrich next to her is just like tapping her leg, like, like
They're so big. They're so big. We seek the fortress of Akarakle on the road of fire, Thurvadaric says.
Oh, Merlak has never heard of Fortress of Aklamal Rakalama. The road of fire is long. Long journey begin with small step. We go to first island on road, our home, Lake Island, because it's island and has lake.
That's a really smart name. I like it a lot.
Can't fault the logic.
Toku, la huila.
With these words, the other giants come toward the shore, and you see each of them has slung over their back an enormous wicker cage,
Oh, awesome.
which they unlimber and place down on the cliffside. The bottom of each wicker cage is interlaced. It's not going to be comfortable, but it will keep you above the silt. Merlak points to the two half giants.
You in one each. Others go two each, except for little people. You so light, like little feather. You go where you want to go.
Well, that's very generous of you to say that. I will be staying with my half-giant friend.
Whoa, what is generous?
Oh, fuck.
Is this insult?
No.
We offer you
No.
carry.
No,
You call
listen.
us generous?
Hey! And he's
Compliment.
like snapping his fingers. He's like, hey, big guy. You good. Very good. I go. Nice one.
But what is generous? It sound rude.
Nah, it's
Mean
like,
kind.
I'm grateful. Thank you. You are
You
being
can
kind.
read minds?
Yes, I can.
Oh,
I am a very powerful little feather.
Yes, you are full of great.
Mm-hmm.
You are full of power.
Yeah, I know.
Come,
Happening.
little feather.
Ra's like, I know him. He's my friend.
Yeah, that's right.
That little feather's my friend.
You will be great king of giants one day, little feather.
Oh, yeah. I'm about to start a whole new religion.
Oh, oh, oh.
What?
I think he's laughing, Dakar says.
Oh,
I really wish he wouldn't.
Please tell me that's laughing.
yeah. Please.
I just get in a basket. I'm just done.
How
gonna
big are
sit
these
here.
baskets, and how many cream can fit in one?
Okay, so we have, 6 of you and 7 of them, so 13 in total, okay? There are 7 baskets, right? 2 of them are going to be taken up by a half giant each, leaving 5 baskets each, right? The halflings can go anywhere.
I'm going to go with Ra.
Yeah, I'm going
Right.
to scoop up
So the-
Bengal and go in a cage with him.
So for the rest of you, it's 2 per basket.
I'll go with Tick Tick.
I'll go with Matthias.
Because
Okay.
I weigh like 500 pounds, so I'm just
It's fine.
Yeah, but you're spindly.
okay. Spindly 500 pounds. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're still less than half the weight of Ra, so.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I picture this is like Ra is the same scale to this giant as Bengal is to Ra.
Not quite. The giants are like 25 to 30 feet high, so they're
Bloody hell.
they're kind of double her size.
Right.
Ra, when
Yeah,
she's like,
they are immense.
Ra in the cage is just like, is this how you feel when you're on my shoulder?
Yes. Except that, I don't know. I think Wicker is rather less uncomfortable. More uncomfortable, even.
This is so cool.
Okay, I hop in the cage with Tin then.
Okay.
I guess it leaves
Oh, there
Matthias
it is.
and Portex to go on the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look on your map, I'll pull it back for you. Go away, Merlak. Come here, map. You can actually see Lake Island to the south of Bitterwell. It's about 25 miles away. Right? That's going to take 3 days of marching through the silt. There are smaller islands that are not shown on the map where the giants can rest or place you down so you can stretch your legs and not be completely wickified the entire time.
The entire journey, Ra will just be pestering the poor giants with like admiration and questions. Like,
Oh my god,
Okay.
what's your
Yeah.
favorite color?
And Bengal spends his time just, becoming the king of the giants, I suppose.
King Feather.
Yeah.
oh, I love that.
Okay.
They will make me a little throne and I will make them dance for my entertainment.
Matthias spends his time wondering if he could teleport Vemet into the silt.
You probably could.
But wondering if he can get away with it without him knowing it's him.
It's directly under one of the giants' feet. Like,
Just before he puts it down.
Yeah.
Tim
So,
will spend his
it
time
comes-
contemplating the animals of the silt that he can turn into.
Yes. It comes largely, to be fair, through Ra and Bingle Bangle's conversations with the giants. But you do learn a few things about the Sea of Silt. Most interesting of this, perhaps, is the depth. In some places, it is said to be hundreds of feet deep, where even a giant cannot stand. But here, between the islands and the shore, there are paths that are often trod. And as they're trod back and forth over years and years and generations, the silt becomes compacted. And despite their famously low intellect, the giants nevertheless have memorized these routes. And in fact, as you become accustomed to the shunt and the shift of the creaking harnesses and wicker cages on the giants' backs, you can feel it too. You can feel the silt beneath their feet giving way slightly and then becoming firm, and giving way and becoming firm as they trod these beaten down paths beneath the dust. How far to either side they could go before falling into the deeper silt, hopefully you will never have to know. Your escorts are beneficial in other ways as well. Creatures you see in the silt, actually movement beneath the surface, little currents darting to and fro. One of the giants produces a club and just swats. Every now and then you see a small reptilian humanoid, its body broken by the impact, briefly appear and then sink out of sight.
Silt runners.
Molac says,
Get in your boots. Make your feet itch.
At the end of the first day, the giants stray off course ever so slightly.
Climb to top of basket.
Is the only warning you get. And then they're up to their chests in it. As all of you scramble up the inside of the basket, the lower halves of them just filling with silt.
I hold Bengal higher in the carrier.
You see Vemet having to snap off the words of some levitation spell to lift himself up and out of the silt, as his spindly little wizard's arms are nowhere near strong enough to haul himself up the insides of the wicker. And he hovers at the top of the basket. You see the reason for the detour. There is a small rocky outcrop a few dozen yards off the main course, and the giants wade through it, deposit the baskets there.
Rest. We move in morning.
Thank you.
And rest you do. It's 100 yards across at most. The giants lay themselves down in the edge of the silt. One of them leans its head on the side and quite simply goes to sleep. Its snoring noise like a great bellows churning away throughout the dark.
I guess I'll keep watch.
One of the giants sits up through the night, trades places with one of its companions as well halfway through, keeping a general watch. You think you see things moving out in the silt somewhere beyond the edge of the island. But every now and then, the giant will scoop something from beneath the silt, a stone perhaps, and lobs it out into the dust. There's a plume, frightening away whatever it is that threatens to come close. Second day, you're back on the silt track and pressing on toward Lake Island, which you actually can see just in the distance, a tiny smudge to the south with a plume of grey smoke rising off it.
Mountain always angry.
Molac says.
Chieftain know how to keep Mountain happy. Keep Lake Island safe.
It was entertaining, at least, on the first day. The novelty of the silt, the strange way it shifts like a solid, the way the wind sometimes catches it and spins it into an eddy, the way the constant curtain of it hangs above you, actually keeping some of the heat off, the strange bloody hue that everything around you has. By the middle of the next day, you're fucking sick of it. Dust everywhere, in your ears, in your throat, in your noses, in your pants, in your food, in the water, in the wicker, everywhere. You've already slopped enough water over your silt masks to keep it out of your throats, but it doesn't feel like it. You're all hacking and coughing and wheezing and wondering how much more of this you're going to take. Moods sink, depression threatens. But in the late afternoon, the more observant among you, or those who are high up in their wicker baskets, notice something on the surface of the silt. Should I say, poking up out of it. Maybe pushed up into the air by the eddies and tides of the dust ocean. At first, you can only make out the vague outline of a structure on the surface. But as the giants walk in single file, it's a short distance off. Actually, Murloc slows down to take a closer look. Well, at first glance, it looks like an argosy.
Okay.
You know, the great slave caravans, in fact, where your adventure started in the belly of one of those things. But it doesn't have the shape of an argosy. It's big and it's made of wood in the same way. But it tapers toward one end. Just visible in the silt. The back half of it is gone.
I asked the giant, what is this?
Not sure. Things buried in the silt. Sometimes the silt makes them come up, or things moving below push them up.
It's clearly some kind of wooden vessel, but shaped like nothing you've seen before. A curving hull, broken in half, but the front end pointed. Atop it, there's what appears...
Anything I might have seen in Bali or in Elidopolis?
It looks a little bit like the silt skimmers you see in Barlick, actually. But it's the shape of it is completely different. Those are quite shallow. On this thing, the hull, if hull it is deep. It's ancient, that much is clear. The wood is pale, weathered, almost petrified, cracked and splintered along its length. There's rumbling going back and forward between the giants. They're clearly quite nervous. You get the impression they've never seen anything like this before.
How far is it from us?
Can we have a look at it?
You want to go closer?
Yes.
Climb to tops of baskets.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Murloc steps forward, testing the silt, and straight away up to his chest. Hands out, 1 foot after the other.
Chogawa.
The other giants nod and follow in his footsteps. Closer and closer he gets, until in fact, yes, he's standing right next to it. Yeah, it's clearly a vessel, a relic from an age long past, lies upon the surface of the silt, supported probably by now you look at it, the shape of the hull actually allows it to sit embedded nicely in the silt without sinking out of sight. For a moment, you find yourself thinking of Hamanu's claim of what this place once was.
Are we next to the wooden structure?
Yeah, you're right next to it now.
I place a hand on it. and cast a no history spell on it.
Okay.
Nice.
Just gonna get the exact. This is a priest spell, right?
No, it's a wizard spell. First level.
Oh, it's wizard. Okay, sorry.
Want me to give you a...
I should have it. I should have it right here. No, Discord will let me bloody ages to open it. You know what? Go ahead.
One. No history. Oh, it's the wrong one. There we go.
Okay. Where'd you put it? Oh, there. Okay, got it. Okay, just downloading it. Yeah, okay. You lean out of the wicker basket, place your hand cautiously and carefully upon the almost petrified hull of the ancient vessel. There's nothing. Nothing but the emptiness of the silt. The emptiness of the elements over ages and ages and ages. And then a name. Wave Rider. A battle. Many such vessels upon water, you see. Projectiles hurled one at the other. The Wave Rider is pierced. She founders. The water floods in. She sinks beneath the waves and is lost. And then countless ages of long, slow deterioration.
Meet the Wave Rider. It is a vessel. Apparently, it sailed these seas when they were still water. Lord Hamanu was not lying.
Wow.
Water. Funny.
There were many of these vessels. They were in a battle and got sunk.
Why's it come up now?
Spell did not tell me.
Silt always change.
Well, access.
Always changing.
Can we go back to solid ground now?
Yes, Dovidarek says, "Oh, we're wasting time here."
I have a quick peek inside, see what the structure is like and how it's built.
Yeah, you see as I said, the back end of it is like smashed open, so you can see the lower decks, a long hallway with a number of cabins leading off, and a larger one at the end, in the glow of the afternoon sunlight.
Can I peer in to see if there's any chests or anything in there?
Well, you'll need to disembark and actually go inside the ship to look for that.
Oh, okay. I don't wanted to see if I could see anything like that.
No. You know what? I will show you what you can see, because I've removed most of the incriminating evidence from it. I mean, the room numbers, should I say? Okay, so you're here, right? The giant's right here. So you can just see down this central hallway. Those C's, by the way, are hatches in the ceiling that lead up to the upper deck.
Thought they were chaps.
So you can see... What?
I thought they were chaps.
No, they're not chaps. So yeah, like a central hall, rooms are down the side. You suspect one of them might have a sinkhole in it, and then a larger cabin at the end.
You want to have a quick look at it? Stretch your legs?
What are you guys doing?
Do we think it's safe first?
We could.
Murloc reaches out and shakes it with his hand. It doesn't shift very much. Moves ever so slightly.
Little feathers not make it move.
Okay.
You're not, are you, Thovodarx? Do we have time for this?
Yeah, we could check it out real quick. Let's not make a day of it.
Okay, let's go.
Should I use your spell, Portek?
I would have instructed you to already use it to have a look at the party. That's what this was for.
He hasn't used it yet.
So that should have been passed.
Oh, okay.
If you want to put your counters on the map, by the way, just to show where you're standing, that's fine. It's not necessarily a battle map. It's just, or you can just describe to me. I don't mind either way. It's up to you. Fuck off, on out.
So, I'm assuming we can see in those cabins that are open.
I didn't. You need to. Yeah, you don't need to.
I know what is in your mind.
Let's have a quick look in the. Are the doors open of all the cabins?
I'm in the sinkhole having a bath.
Are you having a? Yeah, go over there, you fucker.
That seems legit.
Gonna have a sort of like wait for some silence and have a listen to see if I can hear anything.
Yeah. Okay.
You keep quiet.
Nice. All right.
As Matthias is trying to listen, I fart.
Okay, cool. So Begal, are you staying in the cage, or are you riding Ra?
No, yeah. I mean, if Ra had gotten out, then I'll be coming with her for this. Yeah.
Okay. And Tik, you're still in the cage, right?
I'm gonna stay on top of the cage so that I can go help them if I need to. But for now, I'm just staying where I am.
Okay. All right.
Like I don't want to add too much
So
weight
you
to the
put-
boat.
You put Thovodarx's loud complaints from your mind for a moment, and carefully make your way into the central access way. The hatches in the ceiling, you can see the ladders that descend from them are almost entirely rotted through. The end that you've come into is entirely open to the elements. The silt is blown in, filling the entire hold with a low carpet of dust. As I mentioned before, the walls leading off the accessway have various doors leading presumably into cabins, and in the foot of silt that covers the floor, there is what appears to be a skeleton. You can just see the rear of its rib cage poking out.
Where's
Predators?
Great. That's here, right there.
And that skeleton looks like it belongs here. Is it the same age as the ship?
You can only see the rib cage. You'd need to go and kind of dig it out to have a closer look at it. But there's no sign of real clothing, no skin, just bleached bone, like a like it was kind of lying on its back, hunched over, and the back of its ribs are protruding out of the silt.
And a quick observation: does the skeleton have any looks like teeth marks or thing like this could have been done by a predator?
Not from what you can see, no.
All right, let's push on then. Let's see what's here and then get back out as fast as possible.
Okay, well, they passed me by. I'm going to do an observation check.
On what?
On the corridor, on patterns, on anything that doesn't look right.
Okay.
Also on that skeleton, whether that actually is part of the ship. Anything that might give it away.
Yep.
Just to clarify, Ra is staying more so closer to the giants rather than actually going in because she's afraid her weight might contribute, but she's ready in case something happens to go in.
So you're like Tick, you're kind of sitting on top of your cage, are you?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay, and Bingle Bangle, you're with her, like kind of your legs dangling over the edge. Okay, that's a 4 there, right? So the skeleton you think has probably been here at least as long as the ship has. As Constantine moves past it, I'll just shunt you down there out of the way, Constantine. The silt shifts around his feet slightly, and you think you catch the glimmer of metal in somewhere beneath the skeleton, protruding from beneath its body.
Okay. I'm seeing that, or
yes, you are seeing that. Yeah, Portek.
Okay, I walk towards it and pick it up.
It's a sword. It's a somewhat tarnished, but seemingly in fairly good order, metal short sword.
Stick it in my belt and move on.
Okay. Just quickly looking through the doors, this cabin here, mostly open to the elements, was probably some kind of storeroom. Whatever was in here has long since turned to dust. But against the wall here, there's what appears to be nets made of metal. Fine linked chain.
Nice. How big are they?
About 20 foot across.
Jeez.
It's considerable in size. This here looks to have been a cruise quarters cabin of some kind.
Okay.
You can see a rotten table lying on its side, just through the door.
I dismount the metal netting and walk it back and hand it to Ra and Bengal for in their.
Oh, okay, cool, right, okay. So you take it off the wall. There's a couple of them, big actual nets made of fine links of metal. The craftsmanship to create these things is exquisite. You think you're looking at 50 to 100 silver pieces for the pair.
Wow.
Nicely made.
I'll move forward and look into the next 2 rooms.
Ra will take it and put it in the crate, by the way.
Yeah.
I have an arrow knock just
from the Urikites. You can hear Aram out. Are they getting treasure? Is there treasure in there? Should we not have? Thovadark, should we not be doing this? You want treasure? Thovadark says. Go silt wading and find it yourself. This is not a treasure hunting expedition. Well, I mean, it could be.
I know that Portek gave me that detect magic spell to cast straight away, but I didn't get that, which is why I didn't do it. So have I still got that? So if I've still
if you
got
haven't cast it yet,
I'll cast it now. Yeah.
Okay, right. The sword that Portek is holding is magical. The one that he stuck through his belt.
I said that's magical, Portek. And I look around.
The nets are not.
I'm looking for anything. Glimpses through the doors.
Yeah. Okay. So are you by looking around you? Are you walking down the hallway?
Yes.
Do you mean
walk with
along with
Portek? Yeah, or Tin rather.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I follow them as soon as I handed over the nets.
Okay. So checking those next 2 rooms.
Gotcha. Excuse me. Yes, this map key is bollocks. That's what I thought. Okay, right. Where are we here? Yes. So this area right here looks like it could possibly have been a galley. Not entirely sure, or another storeroom perhaps. This one to the south here looks as if it were likewise another crew cabin. You're muted.
I'll check the room to the south first.
The crew cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Rotting bunks line the walls. Again, there's a table lying in the middle. Its legs have given way, so it's just kind of flat upon the floor. There's a bottle lying next to the remnants of the table, kind of half buried in the dust. It's still got its cork in.
I'll get the bottle.
Okay. As you pull it out the dust, you see, putting the dust away, it's actually made of copper. The whole thing is made of copper.
Am I getting any aura from it?
No.
Okay.
All right.
I'll look into that room as well, just to see if there's anything peering through the sand or.
Yeah. As he shuffles in, I'll shuffle up north to that room. I'll just move myself into the rooms I'm in to make life easier.
Okay. Yeah. No. To the area to the north here, to the south here, appears to have just been as I said, a storeroom. You're picking nothing up. However, from where are we here? This direction and this direction, within the 60-foot range of your detect magic, you are picking up some interesting emanations, Matthias.
What schools are they? Do I know or?
From this direction near where the sinkhole is, you're picking up some kind of necromancy, and from the north you are picking up alteration, conjuration, necromancy, abjuration, and a fairly powerful enchantment charm, actually.
Yeah.
I relay that information.
Well, sounds like
let's finish north room and then we can move forward. Move as a group, that makes more sense.
So this was a storeroom, nothing in it. This was the cabin. You've got the copper flagon from there, and then there's the other two chambers.
All right, I'll head forward and go into do an observation of the room to the north to see if anything's in there moving around. Could be dangerous.
No, it appears completely empty, as decayed as the rest of the ship. Although, given the rotted furnishings and the tattered art hanging on the walls, probably that of a senior crew member.
I look in there. What's coming? What's doing the magic?
Go north.
There is a collapsed bunk, wooden desk in pieces, and above the desk sits a rack containing what were once maps or scrolls. There's a number of magical emanations coming from the maps and scrolls, also from beneath the remnants of the desk where it's collapsed, and also, as I said, from over here somewhere by the edge of this sinkhole. You can see through the southern door, the boards have quite simply given way, and there's an aperture in the silt below that.
If Matthias tells me where to go, I'll start grabbing stuff in the north.
Wow. Let's go into that room. Let's go there.
The thing to the south that you say aperture, something sticking out, yeah?
No, it's the kind of deck has given way,
right?
And there's like a depression in the silt underneath, as if something has fallen away there. But you are getting a reading of necromancy just from the edge of the hole. In fact, from your position, you can probably make out there looks to be a body has either fallen or slid into the hole.
From where I am, I get my whip out and try to hook it around the collarbone or something around the arm to try and sort of like gently tug the body out of the hole.
Yeah, make me a hit roll, please.
While he's doing that, I'll be searching under that table in the door to the north.
Yeah, I will join you in that room.
Okay. So a trio of scrolls on the rack. And underneath, silver coins, a couple of arrowheads. The shafts of the arrows destroyed or rotted away, but the arrow itself, the two arrowheads themselves, bright silver.
Nice.
A weird. Well, I mean, some of you have got navigation skills. A sextant, shall I say, made of fine bronze, and a ring. Was once in a little wooden box that's long since corroded. The ring itself was a simple loop of gold.
Nice.
Matthias, your whip.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'll put the give the scrolls and maps to Portek.
Carefully put them away.
Yeah.
The arrowhead and the rings I'll put just in my pocket. The sextant. I think Portek has a carrying bag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that will go to the sextant. I'll give to Portek.
Sure.
Okay. Matthias, your whip cracks out, grabs hold of the arm of the body. You pull it away. The arm comes loose. You see, in fact, that it is skeletal form, but still with clothing on it, tattered and weather beaten, but an indication that this is not as old as the ship. If it were, the clothing would since have rotten away. But just the arm comes loose.
Okay. Can I try again, or...?
There's nothing more visible on the surface of the silt.
This is more recent, Portek.
That would indicate that it's somehow died here after this thing came up on the shores here.
Okay. Should we go into the room proper, or are we just gonna do things from the door here?
The sinkhole. What does it look like it was created by? A creature?
I don't know. We can find out. I'm gonna open the door and peer in. Arrow knock, just looking around since he said it's relatively new. Into that southern room.
You're right here?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you're not sure what this room was. A conference chamber, a map room, something like that. Most of its belongings have probably fallen through the hole in the silt, actually, in the hole in the deck, actually. You can see where the wood has cracked and fallen away, and the silt below is in a kind of like a sinkhole-like depression. And sure enough, you can see where there's a body has half turned over, visible in the silt now. And you can make out what is unmistakably Karu leather armor, the remnants of a tattered beard on an almost mummified face. It's been in here for 100 years or more, looking at the age of the body. No sign, of course, of what it is that killed it. Well, I mean, that is at least until the tentacle comes erupting out of the silt and hurtles towards you where you stand at the doorway. Yeah, so I'm just going to make a quick roll for that.
Yeah.
Everything all right in there?
No! No, it's not. How big is the tentacle, roughly?
There are so many ambush predators in this world. Have you noticed?
You know, I'm just about to turn into the assault worm and just go down and be like, let's go, party!
Never look inside a hole. Basically, it's what it boils down to.
That was
Wells.
It's a hole, not a well.
The tentacle is about the tentacle is easily the thickness of your leg, if not both of them. A huge, massive white sinew rushes out, slams at you, hits the deck. Even as you take a step back, 3 more erupt out. 2 of them in total miss you. 2 snare hold of you. You take... A mighty 2 points of damage, double one. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, however, no, I know you can't. The tentacles nevertheless wrap themselves tightly around you, pinning your arms to the side of your body. Constantine gives a thoroughly manly yell, which the rest of you can hear out across the silt as he is snared by the writhing tentacles. You can see from your vantage point, Constantine, something moving beneath the silt. You catch a brief glimpse of a pale, mottled white flank moving, and fresh tentacles unlimbering themselves from the silt, seeking fresh prey. Anybody who wishes to involve themselves in my ongoing hentai fantasy can roll me an initiative. The rest of you can stand around and applaud.
Of course I want to join in the hentai. So would we be able to actually hear them from this far away?
Each square is 10 feet, so they're like 100 feet away, so you can hear lots of loud yelling. Well, I suppose it's loud yelling.
Are the tentacles only inside that chamber, or are they outside?
They are coming out of the sinkhole.
All right, and does this thing seem structurally sound for me to go into it?
According to what Murlak said, yes. Bingle Bangle, I see a 6 there. Constantine, I see a very ambitious 5. Matthias?
4.
4. Tick Tick?
I'm holding
Anything?
off now.
You're holding off for now. Okay, Portek?
There's not that much room
7.
in that room.
Nevin? And Ra'ar?
4.
Okay. Matthias and Ra.
I'll let Ra go first. She wants to go first.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay. The tentacles holding tin. I will throw 2 poison darts at it. Oh, fire 2 poison darts at it.
Yep.
In armor class 36, 32.
Yes, both hit.
And they will be save versus death.
Oh, both saves.
Both saves, yeah.
Double 10. Yeah. Give me damage.
Okay, that is. Is it large?
Yeah.
49, 57 damage.
Oh, that's from the poison, is it?
Yes.
Okay. What's the non-poison damage there? The 9 and the 8.
40 of it's poison. Is it immune to poison? Then?
Okay. All right. So the darts slam into the tentacles, and you can see the venom spreading, mottling through the thing's thick sinew. At the same time, Ra, what are you doing?
I step back and allow Ra position so I can hide.
Wait, did you say Ra position?
To let Ra position herself.
Oh, sorry. I have movement
12.
Movement 12. So how far would that take me?
Each square is 10 feet, so that's 12 squares.
Oh, perfect. So I can move 120 feet.
Yeah, but anything more than 60 and you can't act.
Oh, I see. Okay. I'm gonna ask Bengal, are you joining in this fight? So what I'll do is I'll run to about here, which I think was 50. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, 50. And then when I'm at 50, I'm then going to use my action to throw Bengal forward.
You have to toss me.
I'm going to yeet the halfling.
Okay, cool. All right,
I don't know if I need to roll for that or anything.
Completely fine. Because you have rapid combatant, you can use your full move and attack, which is actually only 6 squares for you anyway, because you're wee. But fine, you are hurled, let's say, to here, 3 squares.
Okay.
That's normal range for a halfling, I think.
Yeah.
So Oh,
So
you've
that
done
it
it already.
becomes medium range, and then you get a
Oh.
minus
It's medium range halfling, and you might get a penalty.
medium range halfling.
Right. So
what you
where
can-
am
what
I
you-
aiming? What am I aiming at? Tentacle, right?
So yeah, the tentacles are coming out of the hole here. See the giant thing that looks like a sphincter? They're coming out
Oh
of there.
yeah, right. The butthole. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Attack the butthole.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is obviously Constantine's in my way.
Attack the devil's anus.
So if I could.
Well, Constantine is kind of being flailed around the place by the tentacles, slammed against the walls and picked up and down and knocked all over the place. So you could easily step past him should you so desire.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think what I'm gonna do is sort of nimbly make my way through. And as the tentacle is sort of coming my way, I'm going to, try and bludgeon it a bit.
Okay, cool. One of the tentacles is holding Tin.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Thwack, thwack,
Whack,
thwack.
whack, whack, whack.
Okay. And then large.
Yeah.
So that's
Whoa.
30 damage.
Bloody
Oh,
hell.
whoa. Okay. So the first strike quite simply pulps the first tentacle that's holding Constantine. The second strike, likewise, just smashes through like you're crushing an overripe melon. Constantine, you are dropped to the deck. Of the other two tentacles, should you so wish, you can direct the third attack against one of those. Singing stick swirling around. Whack! You hit the third of the four tentacles. It's like hitting a knuckle. The thing just bursts open. The top end hangs like that against the deck. The fourth tentacle kind of rears up in your direction, almost like as if it's tasting the air. But three of them have been destroyed, quite simply split clean open by the hefty power of your sticks.
Yeah, that's right. Go home.
Constantine.
I will just move more towards the corner here, since kind of trapped in there, and I am going to unleash 3 arrows on the last one. I'm a little frustrated with it.
Yep.
And that'll be a 35, a 25, and a 33.
All hit.
All hit. Fantastic. And then just use these guys here. And it will
Okay.
be, yeah.
In the combination of those attacks, whap, 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 you manage to just tear the sinew holding the tentacle together completely to pieces, and it falls apart in the chamber in front of you. There was a brief pause, during which Portek.
Starts casting. Casting time 4.
Okay, Portek starts casting. There is a moment of silence. And then 6 more tentacles erupt out of the silt. 3 of them coming toward Bagal, 3 of them coming straight toward Constantine. Bagal hitting armor class 28, 21, and a natural 20. Your armor class is...
Well,
that's- so that's-
optimized, it's 29.
Yeah, so...
One of those hits, right? The nat 20.
Yeah, but optimized is when you're acting defensively,
Right.
which you weren't. So that's 2 hits.
Okay.
11 damage, and 63 leaving you on, and 2 of the tentacles have solid hold of you, and in fact begin to pull you in opposite directions. The mind that's controlling you behind them seeming to be somewhat in disagreement over which part gets to hold the halfling. At the same time, Tin hit by a natural 20, armor class 24, and armor class 15. I make that
Two.
2 hits? Yeah, 2 hits. Likewise, 8, 13 damage to you, puts you on 53, and you are similarly snared by the tentacles and pinned. And in this moment now, you see rising up out of the silt the body that holds the pair of them, that holds control over the tentacles. A great mottled white mass with eyes staring strange cilia wafting the silt, and a great parrot-like beak opening as the tentacles start to drag the pair of you straight toward that central maw. Moments later, Portek, your spell goes off.
A small green sphere erupts from his hand and shoots at the creature's maw area.
Mhm.
It's a vitriolic sphere.
Okay, and
He has to save against spells for... Have a look.
that's a save.
Yeah, he saves. Okay, so half damage. So it's only 5d4 in the first round. I will roll damage. That's 13 damage
13.
of acid damage
Nice.
in the first round.
And that's to the central body, yeah?
Yeah. And that's
Okay.
only the first round.
Okay, nice. The acid splashes over the, let's call it what it is, over the Silt Horror's central mass, and immediately begins to eat into its flesh, melting and really rather badly injuring it. Let's have an initiative, please.
Wow.
Okay, Bagal.
4.
4, nice. Constantine.
7.
Okay, Matthias.
13.
Wow.
That's the highest I could
Tick
get.
Tick.
I'm
You're
gonna
not
hold
involved
for
still?
now.
You're still outside. Okay, cool. Portek
9.
and Ra.
4.
4. Okay. Ra and Bingle Bangle. Min-max in unison. You can't help yourselves, can you?
Well, you're more than welcome to go first, considering I'm being tentacled.
Yep, this sounds good to me. I will
Tentacular.
move.
To break free, by the way, is a CMB check.
I will move here and begin attacking the tentacles. I believe the one holding Bengal, it looks like, is it kind of blocking the entranceway?
No, both Bengal and Constantine are being flailed around by the tentacles. In fact, the two that are holding Bengal appear to be trying to pull him in half.
Oh, jeez. Okay, he's
yeah.
already a halfling, though.
Oh dear.
Quarterling. He's being drawn and quartered, quite literally.
Lowest was a 27. Does that hit?
Wow. Okay. Right. So you just, Ra helpfully appears in the doorway and hews the two tentacles holding you aloft, completely in twain. Bagal. You drop to the deck, covered in large amounts of tentacle slime. Not going to lie, it's pretty disgusting, but you are free. And
Thank
your
you.
third attack, Ra, where would you like to direct it?
The one holding Constantine, if possible.
Okay, Tin, one of the tentacles holding you is similarly sliced in half. You're currently held only by one now. Bingle Bangle, you have an action other than to wipe the gunk out of your face.
Yes, after doing that, I suppose that I will also then direct attack towards the one that was still holding Tin, is it?
Yep.
Oh. Did he have another worm trying to get him, or has this been the same one this whole time?
This is now the fourth tentacle to take an attack at him.
I thought
There
so.
have been 10 in total. You killed 4, then another 6 pitched up.
Hentai loves me.
Armor class is 12, so even with a 2, that's a hit. So those are all hits.
Very good.
My goodness.
Splat. Slightly slimy halfling runs over and thwacks the shit out of the other tentacles holding you, Constantine. That's a technical term. Please don't try that at home. You fall to the deck, slightly grimy but free. And you're up next, actually, Tim.
I'm holding my action to see what they do.
Okay. Next are the tentacles. Right. So It's lost 8 of them, has only 2 remaining, and does the only thing that is left to it. There is a sudden jet of air comes out of the side of the thing's body. The cabin is filled completely with silt, swirling, coughing, obscuring, and there's a sudden rushing noise. When the dust begins to clear, you can see no sign of the silt horror. The depression is somewhat deeper. The body is nowhere to be seen. And whatever the thing was that attacked you, it has seized the opportunity to swim the fuck away.
A wise choice.
Yes.
All right, let's.
Is the Matthias's detect magic still working?
Yes, it is.
Can he see maybe that necromantic thing that he was looking for in that hole?
Yes, he can. Matthias, you think it's 40 feet under the silt now, having been dropped down to the bottom of the sinkhole, probably where the actual seabed is at this point.
It's all the way down there, I'm afraid. Unless Tim can get it.
I hate you guys. And Tin jumps over and jumps into the sinkhole, turning into a silt serpent.
Nice. Okay. You slither down into the darkness, tasting your way through the silt until you find the body.
I will search the body with my tongue. It's how it works.
Of particular note is the still juicy fruit hanging from the belt of the skeletal creature.
I'll coil part of my body around it to grab it lightly, and then I will go back up towards the anus that I came down here through.
Okay.
The ship's sphincter.
Yes.
I'm coming back to the ship's sphincter.
Tin emerges from the tentacle anus, clutching a fruit in his coils. I presume,
so it's a girl house.
What? Where's the logic in that?
I will. I'll come up, slither up onto the deck.
Okay. Hello, Raiders.
Timing.
It's from a film called Monster House, okay? It has a Uvlia, and one of the kids goes, "Oh, so it's a girl house." I was just trying to be funny. Ignore me.
And yeah, so you have the potion fruit recovered from the silt beneath the ruin of the ship.
Okay, so let's finish up in the next room then, that we haven't looked at yet.
Ra will actually leave the ship, still worried about her weight, so she'll start heading backwards. She's just like, yell if you need.
Okay, no problem.
she emerges from the belly of the ship, and Tick-Tick's like, "The fuck happened to you?"
Just covered in goop.
Just like slime and silt.
So
there. Okay.
Yeah.
Just Portek?
at the
It's
moment,
ones containing animals, probably a ship from one city to another. Hundreds, perhaps thousands of bones are contained here. All around the floor they lie, creating a thick ivory carpet.
Okay.
They went down with the ship and did not make it out.
I collect a few of those bones. that look
Okay,
interesting.
Matthias, you're within range. Behind this wall here, you're getting emanations of magic again. Powerful necromancy, alteration, and abjuration.
I relay that information.
Okay. Let's have a look at that wall. Is there a door or
This ship is
something?
like a treasure trove of.
This is the thing. Anytime you come across something ancient, like the ruins below Othand or
Yeah.
this ship, there's cool shit in it. That's Portek, Constantine, Matthias, and I'll make a roll for Bingle Bangle. Why not? Because you're there.
What's this for?
No, none of you can find anything resembling any kind of secret compartments.
Oh.
You're getting the radiation of it. You're sure it's there. In fact, the closer you get, the stronger the emanations become. But
That you're gonna have to
No.
break through the wall.
I'm looking through my equipment. Right, do we just hack our way through here? I mean, it must be quite rotten, this wood, I'm assuming.
yeah, it will be. Yes.
I'll chip a little hole on the right-hand side over here.
Yes. Gotcha.
I'm still a snake.
Okay.
Guys, where are you hiding?
You work at it. You work at it,
no.
Matthias.
Taking some room. You don't know what's going on there.
And after a few moments, you manage to bust a hole in the side of the cabin. Beyond, you can see air comes rushing out in a slow exhalation. A small armory, almost entirely untouched by the ravages of age. Metal swords, maces, battle axe, daggers, steel-tipped arrows, ancient leather armor, chain mail. You've never even seen a suit of chain mail. A bow of lustrous red wood. And on a small kind of metal basket, like a container, 3 bottles containing red, yellow, and blue liquid. It's the bow and the 3 little vials of liquid that are radiating magic.
I will turn back into a human at the sight of the bow.
I'm like this tiny little hole that I'm looking through. And I see this little snake peering over my shoulder there. Nothing in here, I'm afraid. No, I
Bullshit, the snake jumps in there.
I look through to see if I can see where the door would be.
Yeah, you can see there's a catch that you, with a little bit of work and perhaps a dagger or something, you can catch it on the other side.
I do that.
And
wait. This is a hidden. It's a hidden thing. Wait.
Yeah.
I cast find traps thing here.
It's a bit late for that. As the door opens,
Well, I was going to say I open it and sort of like allow the air to come out, but yeah.
Well, interesting turn of phrase.
Well, Carl, cut in. God. Okay, go carry on. It's fine. I'll take it.
It's fine. You said I do that, so you do, and the air does indeed come rushing out, but it takes a swirling, almost whirlwind-like form in front of you, and rises up and lashes out at you with vague, airy pseudopods.
Ah.
Oh, outstanding. Jesus. Okay, so 8 points of damage, as almost like being raked by 1,000 needles, as the air, animated, filled with tiny particles of dust, slaps you across your face, Matthias.
Okay.
I'm presuming we need to do initiative.
There's only one opponent here. There's not really any need to add additional dice in. What do you guys want to do? This poor thing's not going to last long.
I attack it with my star metal dagger.
Yep. Okay. Smart move.
Star metal dagger. Attack. 34.
Yeah, it's armor class 16.
Mm, 14 damage.
Wow. Okay.
And then I step back.
Anyone else want any?
Yeah, I guess I'll shoot it with some arrows. They're the +2.
Okay.
So let me roll the hit real quick.
Remove the arrows once they're fired, by the way. Magic arrows get used up when you shoot them.
Will do. And then, why can't I see my damn stuffs? There we go. 25, 19, 37. They all hit, you said?
Yep.
So
Yep.
One's a maximum.
Yeah, the 37's a crit.
Oh, 37's a crit. Okay, so I'm sorry, these aren't my +2s. These are only the bones. Never mind. Let's see here. 13, 13, and 6.
Oh, and just a good bit of music I've got going as well. Too bad. Okay, so our magically enchanted arrows just tear the small, lesser air elemental to pieces.
Yes, you're right.
There is a fading noise as it is sent back to the plains whence it came, and the tiny defenses that remained in the sunken ship are removed.
Well,
I look at the
Womp
bow.
womp.
I've always wanted a bow.
nice. Let me see that real quick.
Okay, so this is the only magical bow in the entirety of this adventure arc.
I thought you said he got a magical bow from.
No,
Hamamu.
no, they have a way to enchant weapons
Oh.
using the
He
enchant
enchanted the
weapon
weapon. It's
spell.
not magical.
It's not permanent.
I throw him the bow.
We were talking about this offline a few weeks ago, and he's like, "Is there actually a magical bow anywhere?" I'm like, "Fuck, I don't know." I looked and looked and looked. This is the only one I could find in all the adventures we've run so far. So well done for finding it. Good
Oh,
job.
we found it. Don't worry, my
We
fire's
found
found
it.
it for you.
Um,
I'm
throw it at
really
him and it breaks
interested
on
in the
impact.
chainmail armor. I pick it
Is
up.
it
Well-
the bow of Beleg?
Is it the bone? It is the bow of Faloth.
The real one this time.
The real one.
Wow! Wait, I was about to say when you said red. Does this look familiar to me?
Funny. So I suggest we empty this hold here and take it with us. Take whatever you need. We will identify, I suppose, the magical stuff later on
When you have it. Yeah.
when we have a moment. I would like to have a good look in the room of the commander or something. What you said, where we found the magical stuff. Is there anything of maps or lore or?
No, I mean,
left from
you
old
can
times?
see where there would have been, but this thing has been here for centuries, buried beneath water, buried beneath silt. Whatever there was has long since corroded to nothingness.
Okay, so no lore or knowledge to be found on ancient times or.
Maybe we should get back to the giants.
Standing around waiting.
No.
Hide as much
No.
as you can, though, on your person. Don't let them see us coming out with more than we want them to.
Yeah, I put it in the bag. I put a big bag here. And whatever we can't use, I can ferry back to our home in Tyr.
Yeah. I do want to study the armor, though. Do I think it would be better for me than my Inix leather?
Let me have a look.
And is it still classed as light? Smithrow, isn't it? You said.
It's chainmail. It would be as you. So you're getting +5 from your Inix breastplate and greaves and the bronze shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Right. This suit of chainmail on its own is as good as all of that put together.
That would be classed as a bit heavier, though. Yeah.
It's a bit heavier, and you could probably combine it with the greaves to improve it. It's going to replace the breastplate and it's going to replace the shoulder pads, but with the greaves you might be able to get a point or two of armor class on top of that. I'd have to look. Your main issue is going to be the fact that it's made of metal.
Yeah, it would affect my rogue skills, though, wouldn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
It'll also heat up during the day.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So, but
Yeah. I'll take it
you
anyway.
know there are ways
Obviously.
there are ways around that. So okay.
And the 3 magical potions we'll take as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, good.
Cool.
We leave this place and I try and mark its location if we ever need to revisit for whatever
Yeah,
reason. I take
for
some
sure.
of the bones of those animals that I don't recognize.
No, you don't recognize them.
Okay, so I'll
Weird
take some of
looking
those
things.
bones with me.
Okay.
At least that's some lore from old times that I can take along.
Yes. Okay.
Once I've made sure that the move the silver coins and ring around the arrowhead so they don't make any noise, I will, with 2 bows now, head out and very nicely reach for Tick Tick to help me back into my cage of carrying.
I'll give him a hand.
All right.
Everything okay?
I suggest giving the other stuff to Portek, including the bow.
What did you get? Aramau shouts. Was it good? Did you get anything good? I heard shouting.
An air elemental and some tentacle beast.
And some tentacled horror, yeah.
I'm already back in my cage. Oh, tell Tick Tick. We just we found a bunch of things and got attacked by an air elemental and some kind of
Silt
tentacle
horror.
monster.
Morak
Yes.
says.
Yeah,
Oh, silt horror,
Steve.
apparently.
little ones, good eating.
Well, there's some tentacles in there. Should we go and get them?
Oh, sure. Pick up the tentacles. No?
Only little ones.
Oh.
Big ones taste bad.
Okay.
You only saw what color?
White.
Oh, no, we have to move. No, no
Yeah.
good. White horror's no good.
Okay.
So we chased it away. We hacked most of its tentacles off, and then it ran.
It's not dead.
Ah, okay.
I'm sure there's more.
Kathani.
And at this, the giants make sure you're all stowed in the cages, wade back to the sunken path, and forge onward at rapid speed. You've never seen anything that upsets giants before in what little time you've been with them. But they don't stop at night. They press on, continuing to march throughout the moonlit evening on and into the morning, eager to put time between themselves and the Silt Horror's territory.
I asked them about that. Why they're so scared of these.
Silt horror's bad. Pull big giant off feet. Can't get up. Can't breathe.
They suffocate.
Drown in silt.
Yeah.
Mm.
They're strong, right?
Spawn in silt. Some have mind power.
The white ones?
No. But it complicated. Little ones become different colors.
Okay.
If little ones were here once, others could be of other colors. We not wait to find out.
Right. Makes sense. Smart. Thanks for keeping us safe.
Freeman, say Murloc look after you. Murloc keep promises.
Did you get
And
paid
with
for
this,
Yes. Yes.
We'll give you something
We
extra.
come back, get many Erdlu. Good for pens on Lake Island. Big Erdlu make little Erdlu.
the sun is turning the silt to blood by the time the journey finally comes to an end. The giants wade out of the Sea of Silt as the first rays of sunlight push themselves over the horizon. They lower the cages from their shoulders, and now you can feel lush green grass beneath your feet for the first time. In the distance, you can make out the forms of other giants herding kanks and urdlus up the sides of a slowly smoking cone. Their crude torches from the night piercing the dawn. Murlak leads the way, and you're soon climbing the slope to where a stockade has been burrowed into the side of the volcano's cone. As you walk, Murlak offers explanations of the sights and sounds of their unique land. Rivulets of magma trickle out of the rock above you. Plumes of superheated steam issue from the summit of the volcano, where the molten rock streams into contact with the waters of a lake Murlak tells you is held within the cone. Finally, you arrive at the gates of the giant stockade, a pair of heavy wooden doors guarded by 6 huge giants wearing armor that looks to have been fashioned from about 30 dead urdlus, weapons crafted from trees. At Murlak's raised hands, they swing the gates open, revealing a tunnel that goes through the side of the cone and into the crater beyond, where steam rises from a boiling lake. Following him in, you head down the tunnel and emerge into a large open cave that overlooks the Great Lake itself. Finally, as the last of you enters, accompanied by Murlak and his giant companions, the vast doors swing shut, momentarily deafening you as they slam back into position with a resounding crack. I'm just going to show you real quick what it looks like. So you can see the guard post where you entered here. There's the big doors, the tunnel, and then beyond the caves, there's the lake on the far side, and numerous wood and stone houses built around a great central fire pit. Giants, dozens of them, are hauling water up a complicated well house from the lake, tending pens of urdlu and kanks, working on craft goods outside their homes, some sitting in a circle around the fire pit, enjoying a morning meal. Great shaggy heads turn in your direction. It's like walking amongst a forest of redwood trees that stare down at you with curious expressions on their carved faces. Murlak leads you to the ornately carved doors of the chieftain's hut. That's this here.
Chieftain Murlak's father. Him good man. Maybe him know where fortress of Aklamakalakamwakamala is. You ask him.
I beckon him over.
Who? Murlak.
Yeah, Murlak. And I give him a gold piece. This will buy you many earthlings.
It's like tiny in his hand.
It's a lot of money.
Yes. Thank you for bringing us here safely.
Thank you, Portek.
Thank you, Murdoch.
It not true what nasty man with goggles say about you.
Did he say nasty things about me? He always says nasty things about me.
Yeah,
He killed me once.
it not true. Killed you once.
I got
And
better.
not do very good. Not very good job.
That's what we keep telling him.
If Merlak kill you, you stay dead. Uh, uh.
Ra will approach and also give thanks, and then will kind of outstretch her arms and go, "Can I give you a hug?"
Merlak gets down on one knee. And he kind of reaches his arms out and places them gently on your shoulders.
Giant hug. I'm gonna give him a hug.
You have small body, but your heart like giant.
Where words have not been spoken.
Ra just has like a huge grin on her face. She's like, "I have a small body."
Tin will reach out his hand to shake his hand as well. I'll be using my 25 strength druid ability. So I can give a reasonable handshake. I assume it's a finger.
King Feather. Merlak, look forward to day when you rule over us.
Oh, trust me. I think it's closer in your future than you realize. Say goodbye to all of my other subjects for me, will you?
Yes, you speak very fancy.
That's okay.
You are grateful.
I am grateful.
Yes,
Yes,
you are
Yep.
full of great.
I am very full.
Also generous.
Yep.
Yes. And so are you?
Yes, I am generous. Yes, yes.
We thank you for that.
Yeah. Oh, my father speak with you now. I go and find a lot of wine.
Have fun.
We walk
Well,
in
that
and his
raises,
father's like a professor.
Hello.
Hello. It's got a monocle made out of an entire sewer lid.
Afterwards, we fling poop.
Yes.
Within, as I said, the door is ornately carved. The interior of the chieftain's hut, each square on that map is 20 feet, so the thing's like 80 feet long and 60 foot wide. It's like enormous freaking building. Smoke, chamber vast, towering overheads for at least 60 foot high. The walls bear exquisite tapestries. Again, for their size, the crafting skill of these creatures is quite remarkable. Floor carpeted with animal furs. Down each wall stand 10 giant guards, faces and eyes set, positions of honor for their chieftain, looking straight ahead at all times. Every now and then you catch an eye glancing down in your direction as your tiny group moves into the hut. At the far end of the chamber, atop an elaborate wooden throne, the size of a respectable wagon, sits Merlak's father, the chieftain. Truly massive being, even by giant standards. He sits, frowning, watching you approach.
Approaches and then kneels and like lowers her head to the ground and shows as much courtesy as and respect as she possibly can, learning from what the others have done in the past. She is just like trying her best to look as respectful as she possibly can.
Standing on the left-hand side of the throne is what must be the priest of the tribe. Clad in symbols that must symbolize the element of silt. Indeed, you can see a bag of it hanging around his neck, the dust seeping through the cloth. The chieftain says nothing, but the silt priest regards you all with a curious gaze.
I move to the back.
You have come to Lake Island, born on the back of the chieftain's son. What has brought you here?
Tin will look to Matthias.
See, why are you looking at me? I'm still confused why we're here.
Yeah, but
I
you're
wasn't
better
here
with
last
words.
week. What are you looking at me for?
Thovodarik steps forward. I will speak.
You
We
didn't watch
seek-
the VOD?
We seek the fortress of Akarakle. It lies upon the road of fire. Our journey there is of great import to all in the tablelands. We seek wisdom that might answer, even solve the riddle of the psionic interference field which washes across these lands.
So you say.
The shaman looks sideways at the chieftain.
Lies.
The chieftain says,
I believe the lies you speak. Stupid you think, giant? Stupid me?
he leans forward in his chair, the entire thing creaking. There's biceps the size of a mechalot's head flex.
Why you come here?
Thovodarik looks completely confused. Oh, well, I mean, I said,
Why, in truth, I know. I know this thing. Trusted little one told me.
I sink into the ground.
Him knows you. Him told me why you're here. You come to steal giants' treasure.
I want no treasure.
You have no treasure. You take it not. You leave not. No. Treasure mine.
Who told
Gods.
Keep your treasure. We don't want it.
Who told you that? Because that's not why we're here.
Do I look like a rich man?
Take them, gods.
Ask your
he
son.
stands. As he stands, the shadows around the throne, of course, shift, revealing that which was hidden from your sight before. Standing on the other side of the throne to the shaman is a somewhat familiar figure.
Vomit. Oh, him.
No.
Oh no. He's the one from the dream, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
nods.
you know, because of his hat.
Yes, he says. Yes, they seek your treasure. Take them all.
Excuse me. Sir, she says to the leader.
No excuse me's. No sirs. We're going to find out what happens next episode.